All right. And welcome back to another episode of Flick Fights, everyone. The third out of 4 Flick Frights episode for the month of October, celebrating Halloween. This week's episode is going to be Midsommar versus Hereditary. How do you pronounce her name? Ari or Ari?
Ari.
Ari Aster Showdown. We have Jessica Vestal with us again for this episode.
Yeah, I was just going to say, too, this episode is just all the trigger warnings. Like, we're probably going to have to dance around quite a bit of words here, so...
So I've noticed YouTube doesn't seem to have any policies surrounding words the way TikTok does, so it's really just the clips I pick out, so don't...
Yeah.
I mean, tone it down as much as you can, but...
yeah, it's just, well, I was going to say, one country likes censoring more than the other, but that's not really true at this point. Fuck it, let it roll.
So if you're new to the show, we do a boxing style matchup of 2 movies that have the same style of plot, same style of genre. We start with the tail of the tape for the movies, and then we do 10 rounds, usually specific to the type of movie, with some rounds that are a constant through every movie. Obviously, for the horror movies, we have to have a little more specific types of rounds, but yeah, let's get right into it. In the red corner, we're going to have Midsommar, and in the blue corner, we'll have Hereditary. So, Nick, you want to do the red corner?
Yeah, I'll start off with Midsommar here. We have directly Ari Aster, budget of $9 million, domestic box office of $27.4 million, and international of $21.1. Worldwide being 48.5, which is surprising to me because, like, I mean, maybe this had more of a life afterwards. Like, I mean, I always hear this movie, like, highly praised, but I'm like, yeah, horror movie, I guess. So
well, I will say, I had not heard literally anything about this movie until you and Jess talked to me about it. So.
Yeah, I got to go in blind. That's fun, because I knew a little bit about it before watching it, but we're in time of 147 minutes, 171 minutes for the director's cut. IMDb score is 7.1, 83 Rotten Tomatoes of 83 critics, 63 audience. Other notable films: Hereditary, Beau is Afraid, and starring cast is Florence Pugh, Jack Rayner, William Jackson Harper, Wilhelm Organ, and Will Poulter. Guess which one of those is Swedish?
I love that Will Poulter was in this. I was like, there's 2 Avengers in this movie. We got Black Widow and Adam Warlock.
Yeah, fair.
Adam Warlock was a fucking douche in this movie, but
oh, he's the douchiest snooper. I'm like, oh, do I look like that when I vape? Shit, I gotta stop doing that in public. Just like it's a little smoke cloud that says American.
Oh yeah, dude. It was embarrassing on behalf of our country to watch him interact with Swedish people. And for the blue corner, also directed by Ari Aster, Hereditary came out in 2018, just a year before Midsommar. She was fucking busy. Budget was $10 million, so only $1 million more than Midsommar. Domestic box office was $44.1 million, international $36.7 for a grand total of $80.8, which makes sense to me that it did so much more than Midsommar because everybody talked about this fucking movie when it came out.
Right. Way more mainstream.
Right.
Like, Midsommar definitely comes off as like an art film in a lot of ways, and that can turn some people off.
Yeah, definitely some I would imagine seeing at Sundance or Cannes. Runtime of 127 minutes. IMDb score 7.3. Rotten Tomatoes got a 90% from critics, which is pretty rare air as far as Rotten Tomatoes score goes.
Especially for horror movies. Like, they're divisive and people just hate them because of what they are sometimes.
Right. 68% from the audience, which is pretty surprisling to me, honestly. They're both right in the same area. But...
It's the horror. Some people are just going to be like, ew, horror, blood, creepy movie. No. Bad.
Well, then don't go fucking review a movie on Rotten Tomatoes that you had no interest going into it, you know?
It's the same people that say, like, I hate salad, then go fucking, like, leave, like, a Yelp review at salad places. Exactly. They're just hateful people in this world.
Other notable films are the same because it's the same person, Midsommar and Beau is Afraid.
Yep.
Starring
just got
cast...
some family issues to work out.
Right. Starring cast is Toni Collette, Alex Wolff, Millie Shapiro, Gabrielle Byrne, and Ann Dowd. Every time we do one of these movies, I know one fucking name, except for Midsommar. I know 2 of them, but I'm always like, that person I know for sure, and the rest of these people, I have no idea which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, for a minute I thought Ann Dowd was Margot Martindale from fucking everything, like the fucking the mom in fucking Walk Hard.
Yeah.
But
She's Aunt Lydia.
nah, apparently they're just two very similar.
Apparently Ari Aster is a guy. Jess, you don't have to text me stuff. You can just talk.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Well,
want
we
to
value your input
interrupt.
here. Yeah, please do. We ramble.
All right. Well, with the tail of the tape down, let's get right into it. We go through the plot of each movie first. We try to keep it as brief as we can, but for some of these movies, it's just a little hard to do.
But yeah, we have like Florence Pugh. She starts out with she's like talking to her boyfriend, and her sister is like posting some crazy shit online, and her boyfriend's like, "Well, she always does that. She can just ignore her." It's like, "Yeah, I'll just ignore it." And that was not the and oh, he also said like, "Yeah, just smoke some resin with the boys." And I'm like, hope you're not talking about what I think you're talking about, because you're gross and maybe deserve what happened to you.
Yeah, they all seem to have
smoking
more than
resin,
enough
though.
money in the group of them to just have some actual fucking weed.
Yeah. I'm hoping they're saying like live resin or something like that, like fucking well, whatever. But yeah, apparently find out the sis is bipolar, and she like does this all the time. And she's like posted to like it's too much, like I'm taking mom and dad with me or something like that. And yeah, she's not responding. And basically like boyfriend calms her down, a Christian, and it cuts to his group of friends, and he's just basically like, oh, I want to break up with this girl.
Yeah, he's a massive fucking douche. And they're even basically like, you have to stop being a pussy and just like actually confront what issues you may have. Yeah, they're all
he's like, oh,
massive
but what if I want her
bummers.
back later? Like, it's just like, he's like, also, dude, like, we're all going to Sweden to get like banged in 2 months. Like, you gotta drop this girl. It's like, he's like, I don't know. And he's like, I swear, like, right as he's about to fucking like decide to dump her, like, she calls again.
Right. And just screams. Like, have you ever answered a phone to somebody screaming? His reaction was not realistic enough. If I answered the phone and Jess was just, I'd be like, fuck, what?
Yeah, no, the
When we were watching
blood-curdling
this, I told
screams of the
Devin
main
to turn
actresses
it
in
up.
both these movies.
That's true.
Yeah, no,
he had just
the
turned it
acting
up,
in
and I
both
was like,
these
you should
from
turn this
the
down
main.
soon.
But yeah, just like this like guttural like fucking like scream of pain. It's like no, and then like we get to like I think it cuts directly to their parents' house, right?
Right. Yeah, he's like standing outside the door to her house and just like awkwardly preparing himself to go in and be a person, basically.
Yeah, be a basic decent human being. But yeah, friends roll dicks. But yeah, we see that the sis is like pretty much like pulled the exhaust from the cars into the house while the parents were sleeping, and like took them out and taped herself up, and accomplishing the same thing. And it's horrific.
It is. I was a little confused by it. I had to check with Jess. I was like, so I guess she killed herself with exhaust. Not sure why she had to have a massive hose taped to her mouth in her room while she's sitting in front of her computer. But
I guess it was so she couldn't get away, maybe. Like, couldn't like regret it and stop it, maybe, or something. I don't know. But yeah, like I put that up there. That's like it was like the Ring level. Like, oh my god, that's way too good makeup. Like for what they were doing.
Right. Yes, they looked like actual people that died by asphyxiation, and it was horrific fucking opening. Also, real quick, there was like a brief shot of her Ativan prescription before all that happened, and it comes up a few times in this movie, and I don't remember a
she has like
payoff
panic. Well, I think she has panic attacks, and like she always like runs off to like deal with them herself, but like near the end of the movie, like is the first time anyone acknowledges like her like emotional distress.
Well, yeah, she's got that and then constantly taking sleeping pills, and I thought that was going to turn into something, but
yeah. I think it's just to show that she's just like mentally unhealthy and unstable at this point.
She acted the shit out of being mentally unwell, by the way.
I just have Danny sad here. So she's like, just like there's a very long shot of just like a pull in of her just being like destroyed, and her boyfriend just like being the worst comforter ever. He's just like,
he sucks so much ass.
Oh, dude, he's like, I'm like, it's like I understand why women hate men sometimes. He's just like, he's the worst boyfriend like on the planet. Just every tick, every box is filled. And this is where
I hate to say it, but if I was where he was emotionally with considering dumping her, I would have been like, listen, I'm not the person for this. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving. Like, I can't disingenuously care right now.
And then we have our first little foreshadowing with like little girl like queen and the bear painting above her bed, which like how much of this is preordained and shit, and like what is mystical and this is a little vague as opposed to Hereditary, which is like magic is real,
right?
But yeah, she awkwardly. Here's another theme. going to a party that you didn't really want to go to has dire consequences.
Yeah, they all the social vibes in this they nail because her showing up to like what a person with anxiety thinks is happening is usually not what's happening. So the way they paint this scene to where she's like, nobody wants me here, and the whole party is like, yeah, nobody really wants you here, really nails that vibe.
Yeah, and we find out this party that they're all planning, like the boyfriend and his 3 bros are all going to Sweden in like 2 weeks and didn't mention it to her.
Right. Yeah. No, every chance he has to possibly do the right thing, and then he throws a little like victim temper tantrum when they get back, and she's like,
Oh yeah,
all I'm saying is she could have just told me, and he's like, oh my fucking god, I'll just kill myself then.
yeah, no, it's like almost like textbook gaslighting, like to the point she's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry for my emotions and how I felt.
Yeah, masterclass in manipulation. He doesn't know what his thesis is going to be, which comes up later is very important.
Yeah, he's like, they're all like some kind of doctorate group, I guess, or something. I don't know if fucking Adam Warlock is part of the group doctorate. Like, he never mentions anything.
He never mentions anything about a thesis. No.
No.
He's just there to try and fuck and do drugs and just really destroy like local customs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the worst ambassador. He was like he was one of those like fucking like IRL streamers before they were actually a thing.
Right.
Yeah, then just to continue to like show how much of a douche Christian is, he like runs up to like the fucking like friend's apartment before like he goes to see him. He's like, okay, Danny's on the way up. She's coming, and I told her that you all told her to come. All right, go.
Yeah. Well, he keeps saying she's not gonna come. But I told her you guys invited her. And I don't know. He says it like 4 times. She's not going to come. And then immediately she's like, yeah, I'll go.
And apparently this like before they were going to go do their little anthropological trip that was like supposed to be like, just like banging their way through like Central Europe, basically.
Yeah, it seems like 2 of them are actually going for like academic reasons and actually give a shit and are actually like kind of nice people. And then, boyfriend's a douche, Adam Warlock's a douche. Kind of confusing how these guys became friends.
Yeah, I'm guessing they have a class together or something, but this is where we meet Pele, I think.
Yeah, Pella.
What's his name? Pella.
I knew a Pella in real life. That's the only reason I know that. When I was homeschooled, it was with a German-Swedish family. So there's a Pella, a Petra, a Britta.
Oh, but yeah, he just comes off very Swedish, and it's like his commune that they're all going to, apparently.
Right.
Never really tell how they met, but I guess it doesn't really matter. He probably like sought them out.
Right. Yeah, I called that shit immediately when the way he is like he like actually connects with her and is like, I'm so sorry about your parents, and then she has a mental breakdown. I'm like, he seems like the only genuinely nice person, and then when they get there, just immediately I was like, he's a fucking scout. They sent him to get people to come there.
Yep.
Oh, and then when it cuts to them on the plane, I know for a fact that, because you see she's sitting at the window seat, I'm like, I know for a fact that he was a douchebag about her getting the window seat. They never show anything about that, but I'm certain he was an asshole about it.
Yeah, but yeah, they all get to Sweden. They pull up to this field where there's like, oh yeah, and here's where all the other young hot people who have brought people from other countries are hanging out.
That's when people, and I'm like, oh.
And they all get there and say, hey, y'all want to do shrooms? And they're like, yeah. And Danny's like, yeah, maybe not. Like, I just had like some really traumatic shit happen to me, and maybe not the best. Everyone's like, oh, don't be a fucking buzzkill. Dude, it's like the most like textbook peer pressure you've ever seen.
Like I said, they nail that shit. Like all the shit that like if I'm trying to convince Jess with me to go with a bunch of friends she's never met, I'm like, everybody's gonna be great. And she's like, if she's like, worst case scenario, like they're gonna be mean, they're not gonna like me, blah blah blah. Like this is exactly what every person like that thinks is gonna happen, and they do it, and it's awful to watch.
Oh yeah,
this
makes you
movie
like so
nails
anxious, but
social anxiety.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. Panic attacks, and like Florence Pugh did like an amazing job acting in this. Like you can feel her like fear and anxiety and panic, like.
But yeah, of all the drugs to get peer pressured into doing, shrooms is possibly the worst one.
Yeah, you got to go into that with like a clear, happy mind and like positive attitude in a place you're comfortable with, not like a field halfway across the world with a bunch of fucking strangers.
Exactly. It was like, we have it in tea form, if that's what you're concerned about. I'm like, God, I wish somebody had it in tea form the first time I did mushrooms.
Yeah, no, they're just on shrooms this entire fucking time. But I will say this movie has the most accurate depiction of like a shroom trip I've ever seen.
That's exactly what I put in my notes too. That was fucking hilarious. Well, just the way everybody's acting too, and they're like Fuck, it's a new person. No.
Lay down. I'm gonna lay down. Everybody lay down right now.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. He's such a douche, but that shit was so funny. He's like, he even gets up and looks back. He's like, Josh, lay down.
I did not like the grass growing out of her
sees, like,
hands
the
and
plants.
feet. That really fucked me up.
No.
Yeah,
that was
I mean,
horrible.
that's one thing I've never personally seen. Like, it's more like the elongation and warping and the, you know, breathing grass and shit.
But the breathing stuff, that was, they nailed that
Yes.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's all the subtle movements of things like shifting in position but without moving. Yeah, it was very, very good. And it was like every time like someone was fucked up and then it went to their perspective, like they were really consistent with like the background doing trippy shit and not even calling attention to it.
For those that have never done shrooms, though, what follows is not a thing on shrooms. When she starts seeing people and shit that aren't there, that is not the thing. So if you watch this movie and they convince you to never do shrooms, do shrooms. They're great, but that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Will Poulter starts freaking out when he realizes it's like 9 p.m. or some shit. And I don't understand how they all planned this shit, and most of them had no idea that Sweden is apparently exactly like Alaska. Jess looked it up and said it experiences the midnight sun. The sun doesn't set all around summer solstice, and it's just like Alaska. You would think at least 2 of them maybe would know this was going to happen when they were there.
The anthropology students, and like even for us, people like wakes up like, is it tomorrow? It's like I think so. In perspective, it's like it's all fucked up. Like it never really gets dark. This whole movie, which is one of the reasons it's such an interesting horror movie. It's like the brightest, sunniest, most colorful horror movie you've ever seen.
Yes, which creates a sense of unease because it makes a lot of things feel like it's okay because it's so bright and colorful. But
we talked about that the cliff scene when she's like, I need to go for a walk, and he's like, yeah, go ahead. I was telling Devin, I was like, could you imagine just seeing someone do that and then be like, yeah, it's only 2, like there's more time in the day, just take a couple hours.
One thing I did notice too was it's during the welcome ceremony, they're like welcome home, Danny.
Yeah, that felt like a nice little nod to The Shining or something. But yeah, immediate creep vibes when you start meeting the elders. Apella says, this is my family, and everyone does these like super intimate, deep, long embraces every time Pella walks up to him, and it's like happening in the background. And it just really starts painting how kind of disturbingly close everyone is in this.
Because everyone is my sister, my brother, my father, my mother. Because we find out later, it's like they break down familial ties and like.
Right. Yeah, they're really upfront about all their incest and stuff too.
Oh,
they don't dance around it at all.
They don't lie once in this entire movie. Like there's even the point it's like what happens at 72? And they're like. And a like fun little foreshadowing is like they're walking to like the bunkhouse. Like they're like, there's a bear in that cage. We're just gonna ignore that bear. It's a bear.
Yeah, they really quickly. There's a yellow house in the distance, and they're like, "That's the temple. We don't go in there." Blah 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 blah. I also put in there, they all say skull when they sit down. They like do a cheers that say skull, which Nick, you don't know, but the Minnesota Vikings, the football team, I love. That's the chant in the stadium they do is skull. So as soon as they went skull, I was like, oh, they're Vikings fans.
Yeah, and then we get the blood pubes love potion mural shot as they're kind of just walking past it. Yet again, just completely foreshadowing something that's going to happen like in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, as quickly as I could, typed in what was on the painting. I put girl cutting pubes with scissors, period blood into a cup, tripping balls, getting married.
Yeah, I called that the pie.
Which, if you summed up the plot of this movie, I feel like that nails it. Tripping balls, getting married, pubes, and period blood.
Concise. Yeah, but that's when they go in to the sleeping area and you find out they'll sleep together, and he makes like the throat-slitting jokes. Apparently, it's like you'll live in cohorts from like 1 to like 13, from like 14 to 37. And
yeah, until 18, they're children, and it's spring. 18 to 36 is pilgrimage, which is summer. 36 to 54 is the working age, which is fall. 54 to 72 is mentor, which is winter. And then, what happens after 72? And he's like, and they're like, ah.
Yep. Funny joke. And he's like, yeah.
Just a little scene aside.
And then they see their first culty feast. The culty feast and all the triangles in this movie are... Yeah, I love the little things like that. that make it like unsettling, just the formations to everything and the way certain things are laid out.
Everything is ritualized. Like the old people like show up and like sit, like everyone like waits for them to sit down, waits for them to pick up their fucking like that happens a few times. Like the person at the head of the table picks up their cutlery and like a wave of motion goes down.
Right.
Just like everything is so ritualized and like organized and fucking planned in this, and the Americans just going, wow, this is all so pretty.
Yeah, dude, they have no self-awareness when everybody's all silent and shit. If it was me, I would constantly be watching everyone to see what I'm supposed to be doing, and everyone's dead silent and trying to be respectful, and they're all just like, so we're gonna fucking eat or what?
Yeah, dude, no, and like I don't even like be trying to like, you know, it's like, hey, can I get like a shirt to like blend in? Because like I feel like it's like an entire sea of white, then like the little color splat of like the fucking outsiders and like another sea of white.
Right. Yeah, they tell them the babies are raised by everybody here, and they just, you know, give them the real vibe of how tight everybody is and culty everybody is, and yeah, then the old people start doing some weird chanting and grunting, and it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, they've got some like I don't know if it's actually like Swedish is what they're doing, or it's like some of their like more primal thing. But it's like,
right.
Ooh.
Yeah, you did that face perfectly. That's exactly what the old man looked like.
I was watching.
And then some people in different colored robes come up and carry them off, like lift their chairs up on the things and carry them off.
No, the little pelicans, the little rickshaws, whatever they're called.
Right.
And you're like, okay, it's like that was like a wonderful meal. Time to go to the cliffs.
And they cut their hands with knives and wipe some blood on some rune stones as they're coming up to these cliffs.
Yeah.
Danny looks like she clocks what's going to happen immediately. She's like super uncomfortable and starts panicking. And even if I wasn't as in tune with what was happening as Danny, I would be reacting more than the other guys did that are standing there. As soon as I see them cut their hands, I'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah, no, and I'd also see people like, wait, that's a diving board. That's a big ass
right.
Shit. Like, I think I would have made some connections before.
At the very least, at a certain point, turn to Pella and be like, wait, were you not fucking kidding earlier?
Yeah, then probably some of the most upsetting cinema put to film happens.
So the first one, it didn't bother me at all. You know, I've seen more gory shit, but yeah, the old people come up to the top of this cliff. Everyone's standing silently, like waiting for this to happen. Old lady jumps off, and
perfect head dive, face just comes off.
Yes. As you should jump if you are intending to die from what looked like maybe 30 feet.
Well, I think like watching this a second time, I think it was intentional. Because I noticed a huge thing with their culture is like catharsis and emotional echoing, and it's like to let them also experience the death as well, kind of a thing, like to echo his pain, because it seems to be like a thing that happens quite a bit in this.
In the actual, I can't remember. I don't want to be like insensitive to the actual thing that this is coming from, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's all loosely based on real like Nordic rituals. That's why when Josh, who is like kind of this historian of the group, when they're like, oh, it's Adastupa or whatever it's called, he's like, what the fuck? Because he knows what that is and is assuming it's going to be something different. But the goal of it is to have like the two elders of the group or mentors commit genocide because they're kind of giving themselves back over to the earth and to nature. But one of them is not supposed to die. One of them is supposed to survive it. And that's why dude with the giant fucking mallet is there. Like that's his job title. So yeah.
Yeah, they're ready. Like they had sashes. Like they were ready.
Do they draw straws for who has to die the super painful way? Because that fucking blows.
I mean, in this kind of culture, they might be arguing for who gets to. Like, it's like, no, I get to do the leg thing. Because even like the mistress of ceremonies afterwards, she's like, it's like, when I do this, I will do this happily when it's my time. Like
right.
She explains to all of them.
So yeah, what we're alluding to, the old woman jumps off and dies, and everyone starts reacting. Well, not everyone, but the Americans start flipping the fuck out, and then the old man comes up, and the Americans start going, "No, don't do! Are you guys seeing this? Why are you like, dude? Do you really think they were waiting on you to flip out before they jumped in here? Like that's what they've been waiting.
Like, he said no. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. So never mind. Whoa,
the Americans were more quiet. It was Simon from London that was the one that gets carried out
couple,
because he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and if you've ever met a British tourist, you know they are the loudest creatures known to
Right.
man. So
Yes.
this tracks.
Well, and I think Josh was kind of coming to grips with what he read was real, so that's kind of why he wasn't real. He was just taking in while
Yeah.
kind of knowing why this is happening. But anyway, the old man
And
jumps
Danny
off
was fucking
and jumps down
dissociating.
feet first
Mm.
and gruesomely snaps his fucking legs in half. And as he's laying there screaming, the commune starts screaming in sync with him until a guy walks up with a mallet and just fucking annihilates his face. Isn't there two of
Bonk,
them?
and then
What was the woman there for?
there were 3 bonks. It was like the elder did the first one, then he handed it to like the next oldest woman, then she bonked him. Then they
Okay.
handed it to the youngest woman of the group, and then the youngest bonked him.
The worst
Yeah.
game of whack-a-mole ever.
Or the best.
But surprisingly easy. Yeah, and this happens a few times. But like Danny's just goes like full blown panic attack, like dissociating, and like everything just like goes like wah, 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 wah,
Mhm.
like out like around her.
Yeah.
Which is
They
great,
nail
'cause that's how
panic
panic attacks
attacks in
work.
this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they know about panic attacks. You know about shroom trips. Like I need to find out who this person is because they understand me.
Right. For the most part, Danny isn't really just silently freaking the fuck out. And then she walks off by herself and finally starts just, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, which no, and that's her whole thing too. It's like I think even like Christian, he's like, you okay? It's like I just need to not be here right now. It's like okay, you go off and have trauma by yourself. I'm just gonna go this way.
Yep, absolutely the worst. They really made it so that you felt absolutely nothing when what happens happens. But
Oh yeah.
Josh is already writing about it, and yeah, then just for some reason this pissed me off more than anything in the movie. Honestly, he walks up to Josh and is like, "So I'm going to do my thesis on this," and he's like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Jack your thesis, bro. Sorry.
I
And
had to
even
have
he's
Jess
like, dude,
explain this to me, but I was like, I don't understand. Like, why can't they both do that? And she's like, it doesn't really work like that. Like, you have to like run it through your professor and shit. And
It's supposed to be something unique to you that you
Yeah.
really give a shit enough to dedicate months of your lives researching. But I also want to point out too, before that happens, I've got like a hard on for hating Christian because he's such a cunt in this entire movie. But after that happens at the cliff, and Danny's like, I just need a minute, and he's like, right on. The next time we see him is when he's talking to Father Odd, and he's like, so about the fucking, are you guys all like allowed to fuck cousins, or like what are the rules? And he's like,
yeah.
Danny's like, hey, they're leaving because they're so upset. And he's like, oh, okay, so cousins, like no, or is that cool? And it's explaining like you gotta get permission to do incest, but it's fine. That's the next time we see him
Right.
after they just all watch somebody jump to their death 2 times over. So
yeah.
footnote, fuck
Fascinated by
Christian.
this. You fuck your cousins?
Yeah, on top of being a douche, he's a very under the radar sociopath. But yeah, he tells Josh he's doing this thesis, and he's like, "Fuck you! I was doing mine first." And yeah, just really piles on why he's a giant fucking asshole.
And all completely valid. It's like, dude, this is like pathetic. Like, what the fuck? You're just like jumping on this because you have like no idea of your own. Like, fuck you. And like, he already went to Father Odd. And it's like, well, like, Christian asked me first, so you have to split it.
Yeah, and that's like the first glimpse you get of Pella lying is when he says, I told him okay, and he says Christian never said anything to me about this, and then immediately contradicts himself, and it's like, well, I told Christian it was okay too. He's like, you just said he never said anything about it. He was like, that's not what I meant, and I'm like, giant red flags, guys.
Yeah, too. Also, this is the scene where like they're both sitting on the bed, and if you like look behind them, there's like the crowns like over both their heads in the background. So, yeah.
And he pulls something out of his. He's trying to calm her down and keep her from leaving, and he like pulls something out of his pocket. He's like, "Here, just smell this." And I'm like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, it's like they don't calm you down. She's like, no. It basically comes out and says like, look, like your boyfriend isn't shit. Like, it's like,
Yes.
He's like, I feel loved here in my community. It's like, you feel loved? Like, do you feel like embraced? And it's like, obviously, fucking no.
Yes. Cult tactics 101, and he fucking nails it. And then we get a quick shot of them burning the old people's bodies, just straight up barbecue style. It's like not in a kiln or anything. It's just straight up over an open fire pit. And I don't know how they turned to ashes during this. I said to Jess, I was like, wait, how the fuck did they burn their entire bodies like this?
I guess it was all night. I guess maybe they stoked it like later, like because it's like the
but
next
isn't
day.
that supposed to be like scientifically
stuff.
impossible to burn a body that way? Like it has to reach insane temperatures to do that?
Well, I mean, if you get a bonfire going underneath and like give it a fuel in it, it can get fucking insanely hot. Like,
and then Danny's like almost meditating, and she asked Christians like, "Are you not disturbed?" And he was like, "Sure, that was really shocking, but we just need to acclimate. Like this guy is dead inside."
yeah. Well, he just thinks, I think at this point, there's something here that'll like benefit him or make him famous. So he's just like, no, we have to stay because like there's something interesting that I can exploit for my own personal gain.
They go to bed. Danny asks for a sleeping pill and wakes up to a rattling noise. And I thought this was really happening, and I would have totally bought it because they're such assholes. But she has like a nightmare that they're all leaving without her. And then, like I said, it's totally viable until smoke starts pouring out of her mouth, and she sees the mallet to the old guy head and her dead sister at the rocks, and then it's all a dream. But my God, how shitty are these people that it's so totally viable?
Oh yeah, no, it's like it'd totally be on a beer run or ditch her ass. But yeah, it's like all her traumas are starting to like merge and cross at this point.
Right. And then you see the cult throwing the ashes of the dead people next to a giant dead tree, which is important. Very, very important later. Everybody's doing their little busy work around the cult, and they like
redhead Maya, like I think is like makes her first move today too. She like puts the rune under Chris's bed.
Oh yeah. She's wide awake staring at them sleeping. Yeah, it was very creepy. That girl is creepy. Yeah. And they one thing I noted in here, they do like a song or chant before almost every single fucking thing they do. Like I said, they're all doing busy work, but in the background you see these three women like sing a little song and chant before they chop a single piece of wood. I'm like, good God, it must take forever to get shit done here.
Yeah, and then it's like pick it up and like carry it away. Like it's weird. Yeah, it's just like weird shit's going on in the background the whole time.
Yeah. And sometimes you're really not focused in on it, and it really just adds to that. You're disturbed and you're not sure why. But then Will Poulter, the super douche, pisses on the dead tree. You hear a guy screaming, "Put your disgusting fucking dick away!" Jesus Christ. And he's pissing on the tree. And they're like, "That's our sacred tree where we put our dead ancestors." And he says, "So what?" And I'm like, God damn, man.
Like, at least apologize, man. Like yet again, like I don't think any of these people are getting out of here alive, but like they justify their deaths, so it's so fucking hard. And it's
And then Pella tells Christian that the redhead girl likes him, and she has her pants license.
Yes, she's allowed to have relations with men now.
And he says it like
it's all very controlled.
Like he's looking for the word as if there is a word for it in English. And he's like, "What is it? The pants license?" And he's like, "Oh." And I'm like, "What do you mean? Oh?"
This is more unclear now. It's like she doesn't have to wear dresses now. What does that mean?
And then the London couple tells Danny they're leaving, and Father Odd comes up and says, "Simon said to tell you that he left already." And she's like, "Why the fuck would he do that?" I'm like, everybody should be way more concerned right the fuck now about what is happening right now.
Yeah. And but I mean, everyone's just a self-interested douche. But she's like, "No, you literally would never do that to me, and that makes no fucking sense." She's like, "No, it makes sense. Just come on. Well, we'll go down next."
What I do love is every time these people have to lie to these people's faces, they're bad at it, which they should be because they're not used to that. And he's like, like I said, there was just no room and blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't lie any better than that. She's like, what you're saying doesn't make sense. He's like, I don't fucking know. And then just
she's like, I would have sat in his lap. It's like, oh, we don't break traffic laws here. It's like, they're what fucking car do you not break traffic laws here?
Yeah, I do love how terrible they are at lying. Even the people they send out to do this is bad at lying.
Yeah, the best liars are bad at it. It's like, this is the best we got.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, you can see like a lot of them weren't successful. Like, you only pulled in the dumbasses.
Right. Christian is talking about customs and traditions. Danny tells him Simon left without saying shit. And he's just like, not reacting, and comes up later. She's like, I can see you doing that, which obviously.
He's like, what does that mean? But I'm so offended. Just like plays the fucking victim again.
He's just like, wow, what a dick move. Anyway, like Jess said, keeps asking us questions about inbreeding. And the guy says they try to get outside mates in as much as possible, but they have to be approved mates, which...
And this is also where we find out that their Bible was written by a heavily disabled child.
Right.
Who was intentionally made ritualistically.
Right. Yeah, they say she's the product of inbreeding, and then they further explain, like, they write these new runes, and there's new runes every time there's another child, and it's our job to interpret them. And I'm like, so you just make it up. Like, the runes mean absolutely nothing.
Well, from what I understood is the runes, like what they're interpreting is like the fucking like paint smears that they're putting on.
Right.
And then they explain the runes are like emotional letters or something like that. It's like each one represents like an emotion from like holy to unholy or something like that, which I guess is like goes to their whole like emotional echoing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bunch of emos.
Then Connie's gone, and they
just hear a scream in the distance. Like, that was weird.
They have another creepy feast, and I put pretty sure this is the pew pie. And they tell Danny, we drove Connie to meet Simon, and everybody else but her is just like, oh, okay, cool. So that's over. We can stop talking about it now. And she's like,
No.
that doesn't make any sense.
No, also the other fucked up thing too is like if like all the juices are like lined up on the fucking tables. If you look at Christian's, his juice is just a little bit darker and redder than all the other ones around him.
Yep. Because if you pay attention to the paintings, you are rightfully grossed out during this whole scene. And one of Christian takes a bite of his pie and pulls a pube out of his mouth, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then drinks it down with the period. It doesn't react to that at all.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter. But I
I've
think this
never
is
understood
where
people overreacting to hair and food. I don't get it. I constantly
It's-
have
yeah.
little hairs in my food. I'm not like, excuse me, how did this happen?
dude, like A, it's probably more washed than any other part of the body it came from, and like B, I got a beard, so it's like, fuck, I get little hairs in my mouth all the fucking time.
Now,
But,
if I find like a fucking
yeah.
20-inch long hair that's just like ingrained into my food, I might get a little grossed out by that. But
Yeah, this is a little flick of something. It's like, fuck it, that doesn't have anything on it. Yeah, I think this is where Mark, I think is his name, fucking
Will Poulter,
fucking
yeah.
Adam Warlock.
Eyebrows?
Yes.
Yeah, Will Poulter gets lured off. Like, there's been this like other woman who's just been like making eyes at him the entire time, and she's like, "You come with me?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll come with you." And dips.
Yeah, he's
And
been
just one by
100%
one,
simping for her since he saw her. And to be honest, I didn't really get it, but
Yeah, no. So I just think it's just available. That's why he cares.
right.
But yeah, and you were noticing like the visitors section is getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
At each of these dinners.
I put Josh has been in a fugue-like state. He's just like completely fucking out of it at this point. I'm not 100% sure why. If he's just like, just really overwhelmed by all the shit he's seeing and learning. Danny asked for.
Oh, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not really reacting to anything. I guess he's just really focused on like recording everything because he got permission. So
Well, like the parts where Danny keeps like trying to talk to him, and he's just kind of out of it as like, yeah, sure, whatever. At a certain point, I don't know what's really going on with him, but doesn't matter for long.
also,
He goes to sleep with
yeah.
his shoes on, and I was like, this dude's freaking out.
But yeah, the whole thing is he wanted to sneak into the chapel and take picture of the Ruby Rider, their Bible,
Right.
which he was explicitly told not to do.
And holy fucking shit, I love it. It was like it felt like a D&D moment to me, but maybe that's just because I relate everything to D&D. But the party is explicitly told not to violate the sacred laws of their church, and then he goes in and holy fuck does he regret it.
Yeah, he turns around and sees Mark like just standing there, or what he thinks is Mark. He's like, Mark? Just standing there with like his fucking dick out in a sweatshirt.
That part
looking
got
full
me
Porky
too
Pig in it.
because it's so clearly somebody wearing a face, and he's just like, Mark? And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? I wouldn't not
guess
have
you're hoping.
recognized that as Mark.
Yeah, but yeah, he steps in and it's like someone wearing Mark's skin, and like there's something about like Skin the Fool earlier, like they
Mhm.
mentioned, like it's like a game the kids are
Yeah.
playing. And as he turns around, big old mallet to the back of the head and some really disturbing noises as he lays on the ground.
Yeah, dude. They really nail like people in pain and dying in this movie because that's pretty much how that goes in real life. When you get knocked the holy fuck out like that, he's just like, oh shit. Even
Yep.
if he lives, he's not recovering from this.
And they just drag him off, like a little blood smear on the ground. And then they try to pretty much frame it to make it look like Josh took the Bible and bounced to like justify his absence the next day.
Right. Yeah, they go to breakfast and they say the Ruby Ratter is missing, and we just asked it to be returned. We're not gonna do an investigation, and then directly after that they go confront them, which I thought was funny. And they're like, we just asked it to be returned anyway, and then 5 seconds later they're like, you should check the fucking Ruby Ratter.
No, like we really didn't. They're telling the truth.
And Christian's just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. We get it. We just want to get it back too. We're really sorry. I'm like, you suck all around, bro. All your friends, you're a shitty friend.
He's
you're
like,
a shitty
I don't even fucking
boyfriend,
know
like-
that guy.
Right.
Yeah, it's like full on Judas, just like I know him not. Like it's like, dude, you're fucking like gonna share your thesis with him. Yeah, you know him.
He's like, listen, man, I just got an inkling. I might get to do some illegal sexual things that are totally not cool in the States, and that's pretty much all I give a fuck about right now.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, well, we're gonna go have separate gendered activities today. So, like a Christian, like a, what is it, Sif or whatever I think her name is, or something like that, Seer.
Yeah, they tell him,
Like
go, Civ
the
wants to speak to
the head
you.
lady. Yeah, it's like, you go over there to Civ, and then we're gonna go to the Mayflower dance.
Yeah. Yeah, they do a cheers and hand out this really nasty ass looking tea. And
yeah, just more shroomy tea, we find out, because everything is just wow, like after that.
some more grass feet.
Faces start melting. Yes, apparently that's one of
Lady
the side
tells a
effects.
story of the Black One luring children to dance themselves to death, and now we dance in defiance until we fall, and whoever survives will be crowned. And I don't know if that was supposed to be racial, but it certainly felt that way.
Yeah, no, I think you're talking about like the devil or like the dark. Like it's, well, you know what, actually though, never ask what chocolate covered marshmallows are called in Sweden.
Right, dude. There's
not good.
there's a lot of just casual racism in that part of the world. And
Yeah,
like I said,
we'll say
having
there's
spent a lot of time being homeschooled with these people, that they are like that.
Yeah, and not a lot of melanin in this whole community. So
I think
and yeah, Christian.
aside from, may I speak?
Go ahead, Jess. Yeah.
Thanks, sorry. This scene is really important to point out because in comparison to the two films, they're mirrors of each other, the dark and the light, and Danny is without community and Annie wants to be left the fuck alone eventually. We'll get there. But this is the scene in Midsommar where she becomes absorbed by the community. Like it's the first step of her not being like, what the fuck are we doing? This is the first time where she's like, oh, I actually love these people and they're so nice to me and they think I'm cool and want to be around me. And she doesn't have that with her actual family and friends. She's just ostracized by both parties. So this is kind of like the turning point of the movie where it's like, okay, are we cheering for her or are we telling her to run?
Right. Any successful cult
yeah.
preys on people exactly like Danny because they take to that so quickly because it's something they're severely lacking in their life.
Yep. Yeah, no, even like just before that, like I think the scene in the previous day, like they bring her into like the kitchen and have her start like cooking and stuff with them, and
yeah, when they make the
like,
pies,
interacting with her more. Yeah.
Christian's in Civs and he's sitting there looking at a drawing of a burning bear. More foreshadowing. She calls him into a room with two chairs facing each other and
uncomfortably close.
Right. He immediately is like, I don't know where Josh is. And she's like, how do you feel about Maya? You've been approved to mate with her. You're an ideal astrological match. And he's like, I think I ate one of her pubes.
He's like, yeah, you probably did.
Anyway, you're trying to fuck? And then it goes back to Danny doing the do-si-do from hell, is what I called it. And now Christian's there.
When does he get drugged again? Because like he gets
right
drugged
here.
with something.
It's right around here.
Yeah.
He's sitting there watching the dance, and they give Christian a drink, and they're like, it's just a spring water with special properties. It breaks down your defenses and opens you up for influence. And I'm like, at this point, I would just assume everything they're giving me is to trip fucking balls. And
yeah, but literally, he's like, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, it's a roofie." I'm just like just blatantly.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, so you might have a bad trip. He's like, you won't. It's like, oh, okay.
Fuck that. And he proceeds for the rest of the movie to have an awful trip. And
oh, dude, like he just looks like the guy that's like sitting in the corner of the party, just like the fucking took way too much.
Not okay. Yeah. Dance is getting more and more intense, and there's a part where they're like all communicating, and she's like, am I speaking Swedish? And they're like, we're speaking dance. I'm like, you're tripping balls.
Yeah.
And she wins. They crown her the May Queen and start putting a bunch of flowers on her, and they all pose for a picture, which I thought was weird. That, how they're not cool. They were really explicit about how they're not cool with photography right out of the fucking gates.
Well, yeah, but like in the dorm though, is like all the pictures of the May Queen and shit like that. So it's like it stays here. I think it's like a Polaroid, and there's like one comes out, or
right.
Like they ain't taking this to fucking Costco to get developed or anything. Yeah, not leaving the property.
Yeah, they start putting a bunch of flowers on her, pose for a picture. I put everyone is making a lot of eye contact. And then Bella gives her a huge kiss. And they literally put her on a pedestal, which is like
we're
Jess
getting
said.
The hardcore shroom faces now. Like eyes are moving and fucking faces are warping.
And then, they put her on a pedestal. And like Jess said, like everything she's been craving this entire movie is just getting that in fucking droves. And like in a great like symbolism with the camera where she looks and Christian is like hundreds of feet behind
So
all
far
of this,
away.
just standing there moping.
Yeah. Yeah, and even like when they take her to like the feast table, he's like so way the far fuck down the table, like away from her now, and she's at the head. And they try to feed her. Oh, as I said, they sound like fucking Who's at this point, like from fucking Whoville, like
Right.
when they're fucking chanting. It's almost like da do re da.
They have a huge
Yeah,
feast,
and
and
then
there's some on the table with a face. And I think, I don't know if it was a pig, but it didn't look like a pig face. It was very strange.
Well, I think I saw there's like a
Mark?
scene from
I'm
overhead,
just
and
kidding.
it's like a meatloaf woman.
Ew.
Shots fired. Yeah, no, I think it's like it's like a meatloaf woman or something, or it's like some kind of like baked good or something. Because like from the top, it's like obviously like a woman laying there. It's like the May Queen. But yeah, from the back, it looks like a fucking like horribly disfigured like pig head. And they try to feed her a whole herring for luck. Doesn't go well.
And herring's fucking disgusting, whether you're used to it or not.
Yeah.
That's not something I will ever understand.
And that was a salted herring, so that was a fucking preserved one too. It's just like that's one of those things like we eat this because we have to not die.
Fucking disgusting.
It's one of those foods.
I've had the unfortunate pleasure of trying that with my homeschooled co-op. It is god awful.
Oh god, I'm still tempted to try surströmming one day because I can't imagine it's actually that bad. But like, it's a universal reaction of just like instant fucking like I'm eating poison.
Yeah,
I've seen every time someone tries to eat it.
Yeah,
but this part is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like Chris is having a bad trip. He's like, "What's going on?" And this old man just was like, and like fucking like sonic claps. He's like, "Why would you do that?"
Oh, that part was hilarious, dude. Like I said, the funniest parts of this movie is everyone reacting the way you would if you were tripping. And yeah, the clap like just goes boom, and he's like, "Why?" And they do another scold to Danny, and they're like, "You are family now." And I put "uh-oh" in all caps in my notes when they said that.
She's the only safe one. Like she's fine.
Right. Maya gets up and nods to Christian to follow her. And put this dude is completely falling apart, but still down to cheat with a child. What an absolute piece of human garbage.
Yeah, he's still following his base instincts, like his like core programming. He's like, must be douchebag.
And then Civ says it's tradition for the May Queen to come bless our crops and our livestock. She's like, can Christian come? And she's like, no. And
it's like May Queen rides alone.
Yeah.
And she gets taken away by the lady chariot. That's what I put.
Yeah, it's another rickshaw type chariot, and then all the women are like running alongside it, and they have her.
Yeah, and they're all like,
yeah.
the entire time as they're running.
And then they have her bury some meat and repeat a song while spinning in a circle with a torch. And she somehow picks up the song really, really quickly. Christian is wearing their clothes and breathing super heavy, and they like have him inhale some smoke, just fuck him up even more. They say it's for vitality. So I think this was like smoked Viagra.
Yeah. But no, I just put it, he's getting graded here because like he's on whatever drugs he's initially, and now he's on this as well. Like,
yes,
he's taking like a downer and an upper at the same time. He just doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And then he comes into the weirdest orgy of all time.
Jess told me at this part that when he gets naked, Jess said that the actor insisted on being fully naked for this scene, and that was not something they had planned on.
Well, I'm doing it. It's like,
which is kind of funny because
we don't want you to.
No, it was having watched this movie and then learning that afterwards. Usually, when I watch one of Ari Aster's movies, I'll like Reddit the fuck out of it to like anything that I miss, like that other people caught. This was one of the facts in that exploratory stage that I found. And having learned this after watching the movie and having a well-established disdain for this character, I was like, of course Christian wanted to be naked. And the actor was saying it as like some male savior type scenario. He's like, women have been put through this for decades and they have to bear it all in front of the screen. And I thought that I could just do my part by also doing that with that. I was like, fuck you, Christian.
Wow. Or my dick and balls as a gift to womenkind. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, guess he was method acting, I guess. He's just really into the role.
Then he walks into the orgy room, and they both, him and the girl both look wide-eyed and horrified. And then one of them gets right up, so they get right into it. And there's a group of naked women all like swaying back and forth and singing. And one of them gets right up in his face and starts singing. And I told Jess, I was like, whatever they sound like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. They start like copying the noises they're making. And they're all just like, yeah, Yeah, they're like
I think this is the
assisting
point, like,
him in doing it too, which was just
yeah, like one of the ladies gets behind him and starts like putting, it's like, nope, we got to put you back into it, son. Come on, let's go.
yeah. And then they Danny and the women come back, and she's like, I want to go see what's going on. They're like, you really shouldn't go look over there. And they let her, to their credit, they let her go
Yeah.
see, and she sees the seagull orgy and then like fucking throws up. And she has like the best pouty face on earth, by the way. And that combined with all the flowers she's wearing when she comes out, just I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you can't help but feel bad for her. Yeah, and then
All the women pick
all
her
the
up and
girls.
run off with her, and she starts just this comes up in the facts later, but she portrays the like grief, like it's like all the grief of everything she's experienced in this movie at once. She's like on the ground,
Yeah.
and all the women start breathing and screaming with her, which I thought was kind of
Yeah,
beautiful for
it's
all the
also,
culty stuff in this
yeah,
movie.
no, it's like there are some things where it's like, okay, you say I make it to 72. All right.
Right.
But yeah. And yeah, they all like it's the first time anyone is like grieved with her, like
Right.
ever. Like
Right.
every time in the movie this
Mhm.
happens, she's like has to run off and be alone and like fucking like weep in like a corner, like by herself. And this is like the first time a community like comes around her and it's like, we feel that you're sad, we understand, and we're sad with you.
Right.
And like I'm like, oh yeah, that's dangerous to fucking throw in the
Oh,
face
yeah.
of someone who's desperately craving emotional contact and validation.
You can
know what would have been
see
cool if
at
they did
first
like a
she's
little.
crack
kind of
addict.
like thrown off. Sorry. You're gonna see it at first
Just
she's
talk
thrown
through it,
off
Jess.
by it, like when
Anytime
they
you're
all
talking
start
over
in.
me, just talk
She's
through it.
like, what the fuck? Okay. And then eventually she's like, oh, cool, I like this. And that's like her
Yeah.
I
seal.
get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
She's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do vengeance together next.
Also, she is still tripping balls on shrooms.
Right.
Like,
It would have
this
been cool
moment.
if they did a quick little contrast, like just little flashes of her crying at the beginning of the movie with Christian by herself, and then back to this where everyone's grieving with her.
Yeah.
'cause yeah. But
And yeah,
Christian experiences the most ultra version of post-nut clarity on Earth.
like literally put the same thing out as post-nut clarity as a bitch.
He comes running out butt ass naked and just like, oh my fucking god, what did I just do? And then sees Josh's foot sticking up out of the dirt, and then just runs into a rain of
Oh,
building,
God.
and they fucking scarecrow his ass and just blow dust into his face. He's just boom.
Oh well, yeah. Before that though, like what happened to Simon, the fucking whole like angel of the chickens
Oh
thing.
yeah, he's all strung up with flowers and his back is like flayed up. Dude, that was the most horrific visual in the whole movie, in my opinion.
The most horrific part of that is he's still alive because the lungs are still inflating and deflating.
Yes, dude. Yes.
But yeah, like later on they say like 2 have to be alive, 2 are dead already, and then like there's like from each group. So yeah, that makes sense. Like you have to still be alive up to this point.
I will say, to me, it adds
Which-
to the racial undertones of this culture that there was no question in my mind they were going to kill Josh. Like you said,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no melanin around. He's not going to be an approved mate.
No. Then after that I put a pocket sand shisha.
Yes, yeah. And then
His
Christian
father
wakes
Ode
up
just,
to
like,
a lady
tranquilizes him.
saying you can't speak or move, and they've got him on a stage, and Danny's on a stage all covered in flowers, and Christian's in like a wheelchair in front of the stage, and they say, today we will surrender 9 human lives, and they say that for every new blood sacrifice we dedicate one of our own, and one is to be chosen by our queen, and they're like, you can either choose Christian or this person that has volunteered. Pella volunteers, right?
Well, no,
Or
it
was it
wasn't
someone
Pella. I
else?
thought it was, but it's a dude who looks really like confusingly like Pella. Like
Okay.
it's a problem.
Yeah. And
And then like one's by lottery too, like which fucking sucks. It's just like, yeah, Jim,
Yeah.
you're up. It's just like, oh yeah, guess I don't
looked at
get to
Jess, I was like,
72.
they have
Fuck.
fucking bingo balls here.
Which I guess the thing though is like, I think this whole like
Son of a
the
bitch.
old people jumping off the cliff happens every time someone hits 72. Like that's just fucking, that was coincidence that happened this time. Technical difficulties. Back to it. Yeah, but I was thinking like basically like I was getting the impression because of like the people like jumping off the cliff, like they do this every year. They can't. But like I think this is like you only get the bingo lottery once every 90 years. So like that guy just really got fucked. Like
Right.
there's an entire chance that like if you join right after that, like you're guaranteed your 73 years. It's just you have to like really like aim your joining time, because if like you join when the 90-year anniversary is going to hit, you got a chance of getting bingoed. So
But like everything else in this movie, he doesn't seem remotely bummed out about it. He's like completely honored.
Yeah, it's everyone. Yeah, it's been like raised in this culture and completely brainwashed with it since they were a kid, so they wouldn't have a problem with it.
But yeah, they're like, you get to pick, and just as good as her pouty face is, her angry pouty face is just as good, and she like locks it in and turns and
Oh
looks
yeah,
at Christian.
yeah. She doesn't even like glance the other guy. She just like fucking like locks into him, just like Christian.
Yeah, still tripping balls, probably another part of that, but um, also it shows Pella willing out. She doesn't like say it out loud, but she makes the look, and then it shows Pella willing out super gross, super gross corpses out into the fields that are stuffed up like scarecrows, and then they go put them into the temple, and they're done up like dolls.
Listen,
There's like a jester one.
Well, that was Mark. That was like the skin the fool. Like they stuffed his body with hay, basically made him a scarecrow. But yeah, I was kind of trying to like think of like their relations to it. I guess like they all represent like a different crop or something. Like one was like a fruit tree, another was filled with wheat, another was filled with hay. One was buried in the fields of the crops, another was like made into a bird above the like flocks of chickens that they have. So I'm guessing it was just like they're all allegories and like sacrifices to specific aspects of nature or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it shows one of the elders like showing the kids how to. First, they're like skinning an animal. They're skinning a bear. That's what it is.
Yeah, they're like gutting it and like bringing all the entrails and everything out, and Christian's there like in his wheelchair, paralyzed in the corner.
Yeah, then they pull Christian onto the table, and yeah, she chose Christian, and then they put him into the bear, and they're like, "Mighty bear, with you we purge our unholy affects. We banish you to reflect on your wickedness. Take from the yew tree, feel no. What is that part? For the cold members chosen.
Oh
to
yeah,
die."
the two living sacrifices from their fucking commune, like they give them like something that's supposed to like numb their pain so they don't feel like themselves getting burned up, which does not fucking work.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. It's funny because they all hear the screaming every time they do this, so surely they know it's not working.
No, well here's the brilliant part. None of them would have seen this before because if they all lived to 73, I think anyone who would have seen the original thing would be dead by now, or like at least an elder. Like none of the younger people have seen it.
So they only do this every 72
90 years, I think.
Or was it every 90
No,
years? You're right.
Yeah, it's every 90 years. Yeah, it's like the great 90-year feast is like what they call it. So yeah, like the young kids wouldn't have, they would just heard the stories, like they wouldn't know what exactly was happening.
Well, what a shitty way to find out that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put him in his little bear costume into the temple, and the volunteers, and Christian's still alive and can't move or talk, and then they light the fucking place up, and then for the first time in the movie, you hear happy music, which is a thing they do in Hereditary as well. They start playing this happy, joyous music as it's burning down, and the guys definitely feel pain, and they start screaming bloody murder because they're burning alive, and then the cult starts screaming with them, and then yeah, Annie just
Florence
jumps right into
yeah,
it.
in her giant flower dress, which like makes her look like fucking like a Far Side character.
And
Like screaming and
yeah, she's also coughing her guts up from the fire, but then yeah, almost like the maniacal laugh at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. She starts like cry laughing with them. Oh my god.
and just fade to black. And Danny's one of them now.
Yeah. All right. Back into a movie by the same director. Just as traumatized me sooner. But yeah, one thing I want to note right off the bat in this movie, the transitions they do in this between like daytime and nighttime and from dollhouse to real life is really cool because it starts off immediately with a zoom in on a dollhouse bedroom that is perfectly done because it is that room. Like there's no noticeable transition. It's a really cool way to start it off.
Yeah, just kind of like coming into like this weird world. I guess it's like the framing piece of it, but yeah, I think it's Josh, it's Jonathan, I think this one, right? This is the son's name?
Peter.
Yeah, it opens with grandma's obituary first. We get a little blurb about like, so and so has passed away and the memorial will be on this day and all this stuff. And mom's miniature maker. They have a little model of their house, which is great. Yeah, like all the miniatures in this, it's great. Like just as a miniature nerd, I'm just like, wait, pause, go back. Oh shit, that's cool.
Right. Yeah, I figured you would have loved that. I'm like, I bet Nick has one of those fucking super lenses to look down, do details on the miniatures and stuff.
Not quite that, but I've got a big old magnifying glass on like a stand that I've definitely done some nerdy shit with.
Yeah. And then they go to the funeral, and it's the mom giving a eulogy that is possibly one of the worst eulogies I've ever seen in my life. She basically says my mom was
Yeah.
a private person and she was a mean bitch. Pretty much
Mhm.
all of it.
And that's where I got it from, probably.
Yeah. And you get a quick little shot of Charlie, the little girl, sees somebody come up and wipe something on the grandma's lips. So creepy shit right out of the gates. And then more foreshadowing
and
when
she-
they're like, are there nuts in that chocolate? And they're like, because we don't have an EpiPen. I'm like, well, why the fuck not? Why are you not bringing an EpiPen everywhere?
Yeah, Chekhov's fucking EpiPen in this, but yeah, she's actually like really surprised to see like so many people at her grandmother's or her mother's funeral, because like we find out through the movie like she's basically been like taking care of her like in hospice care for like years now at this point, it seems like.
Right.
And like it's like, where the fuck were all of you? I was fucking dealing with this. Yeah, and yeah, just kind of the whole little funeral scene. She kind of cuts back to her house. She's like, feel weird. Like, should I feel sadder about this? Like, I feel like I should feel sadder.
Oh yeah, which is something I've honestly heard a lot at funerals. I've said, my parents have said that. I've said that after funerals for certain family members, but that's a part of grief where you feel like you should be sadder than you actually are. And a funeral's a weird place to try and process grief.
Yeah. Especially the wake afterwards. It's like, dead people party. Hey.
Dad checks on the son, asks if he's feeling sad, and he's like, "Man," I'm like, no. Basically, during this, nobody seems to give a flying fuck that this lady is dead except for Charlie. Charlie is very upset about it, and the mom is trying to comfort her, and
she's like, Grandma, like you were Grandma's favorite. You know that, right? Like just like trying to like make her feel better and shit.
And she's like
some foreshadowing.
Yeah, and she even says Grandma wanted me to be a boy, which is even more foreshadowing.
Yeah, but they find a like I think she starts going through like her mom's like old things and old pictures and stuff, which she really should have kept flipping through that photo album. Would have saved
5 seconds
a lot of
longer, and
problems.
she would have found so much important information. Also, real quick before you cut away from her talking to Charlie, she sees Satoni, whatever, written on the wall in like pen. That is important. I did a whole bunch of. I went down a rabbit hole of what all these words mean, but it's like Latin for like communing with the dead and shit, part of necromancy. And throughout this movie, I never find out who's writing all this stuff. It just happens.
I mean, I'm guessing it's either I think people are in their house like the entire fucking movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Or
with, like,
Charlie
the
did
ease
it,
they're in there
actually,
at the
knowing
end. Yeah, she might have done it too. It's weird that like how aware of what's going on Charlie is unclear in this. That's one of the things about it.
Yeah. No, even at
like
the end.
she's like she's like on some sort of spectrum. I'm not sure what specifically. Like they never blatantly say like she has Asperger's or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like she's very like kind of quiet and stunted, and like not really like looking at people, and like doesn't really communicate properly.
Right.
And like just very like withdrawn. And how much of that is like something in like in like native to her, or how much like was done by grandma is like unclear. But
yeah, she finds a note from her mom that says, "Forgive me all the things I couldn't tell you. Please don't hate me, and try not to despair your losses. You will see in the end that they were worth it. Our sacrifice will pale next to the rewards. Love, Mommy." And she like takes us as a note on like why she was a shitty mom and like being a shitty mom in general. Apparently, definitely not what it was, but she like gets pissed off and fucking throws the note down.
Yeah, and then sees like a fucking like specter of her mom like standing in the corner like watching her like she does, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And one thing I do like it, I was gonna say, one thing I do like about this is like this movie doesn't do the thing where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna keep all this inside and not talk to anyone about it. Like when she's quite open with all the shit she's seeing and experiencing with like her family and shit. Like, she was like straight to her husband is like, I just scared the shit out of myself. I just like saw my mom standing in the corner in the shadows. Holy shit.
But he hardly reacts to that. I put zero chance of going to bed after that, for one. But if Jess came to bed and was like, I just scared the shit out, I swear I just saw my mom standing in the corner, I'd be like, what's that now?
Let's get the sage.
Yeah, we're shit. We would have done that immediately. And then we go to school, which comes up a lot in this movie, and it is home to some of the most horrific shit in the movie. And second jump scare in the movie is a bird flies into the window and dies, and Charlie doesn't even look.
She knows it's there.
And then shows Peter's just staring at butts in class. And some more foreshadowing as the class is talking about Sophocles not having a choice in the things that were happening to him.
Yeah, like what's more tragic if they had a choice or just done to them? Like it's more tragic if it's done to them. Just like
yeah, they really
blatantly.
This director's really, really good at this stuff. The way all this shit ties together, especially on a second and third watch, is amazing. Like, so much background shit is so very, very important.
Yeah. Maybe cut to Charlie at this point and like find out that she's just like completely checked out from school and just wants to make her little toys and dioramas and shit. She's like making like a Altoid 10 fucking or like a milk bottle creature or something like that.
I was
And
doing. I rewound a couple times trying to see what the fuck was in her hand, but
I guess yeah, it's like just like it's not done yet. I guess she was like trying to build like she like makes action figures or something. She's like crafty.
You see something real similar in Joni's house later, so I think it was a part of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then shows her cutting off that dead bird's head with a pair of scissors, sticks it in her pocket, and there's a woman like 200, 300 yards away waving at her. And I'm like, what if
Just,
she
like,
never
smiling.
saw you? Like, you're so fucking far away. Like, what are you going to do today? I'm going to go stand super far away from school and wave to this child and hope she sees me.
Watching all the time is the thing. There's always like someone in the group like within a couple hundred yards of her watching, because like that woman is like one of the cultists at the end. Like she's like one of the main ones. So yeah, then we cut to back to the house and we find there's like a creepy triangle burned into mom's floor or grandma's floor, and like the door was open. She hadn't closed. She hadn't left it open. She's just like, that's weird. Kind of goes confronts her husband about it.
Yeah,
and I think that's when the husband gets the call
that the grave has been I made a note here. It reminded me of Futurama, where he's just standing off somewhere. He's like, "What does that mean, desecrated?" And then I put to shreds, you say. But also, I have so many questions about Annie's job. Like, she's constantly working on miniatures for like a group called Archer or whatever, and I'm like, how is it important? What is it for? And how does it afford this massive fucking house?
Like, and he's got the air of like a lawyer or like a doctor or something like that. Like, he seems like he's like no nonsense and well put together. So maybe it's like a thing. It's just like this is her passion, and like she's like kind of like sells a big piece every once in a while. Like, because it seems to be like she has like a bunch of different projects. She has like the thing for the art gallery, and she's like making like a school for something, and she's making like an auditorium for something else. Like, I guess she's an artist.
Annie's job is pertinent not so much to their financial status, but to the origin of King Payman, because it's from the Lesser Keys of Solomon, and that demon or whatever he's labeled as, I think it's a demon, he pays towards like his population of people, the demographic that's attracted to him and utilizes him for like sacrifice to something to get something in return. It's for like artists and teachers and more like vocational type people. It's not for like money.
Okay.
So her being involved in the arts is a direct link to that history of where King Payman comes from.
Yeah, I'm just more curious about in real life. What job is that? Whose job is that? Like, that seems like such a niche group that Nick should honestly be doing for a living.
I mean, like, I know, like, back when I was in school, there was like set design and stage design and shit. You would like make miniatures of the places and stuff, and like proof of concepts for like interiors of places,
like real estate projects and stuff. I've seen that, but they're never that goddamn detailed, like down to the fucking laundry on the floor of the bedroom.
Maybe it's just she's an artist and she's like benefiting like secondarily from like her mom's fucking like fortune spells that are going on all the time. Like maybe it's just like it's like it's kind of bled over to her that she's getting all like the recognition and wealth and stuff now, even though maybe necessarily wouldn't work out otherwise.
Right. And then she tells her husband she's going to a movie and does not go to a movie and goes to a grief recovery group, and then just trauma dumps on this group. And like, there's a part where it just feels like they're all like, yeah, that's not really what this is. Like, you just dumped so much shit on us. She's like, my mom had DID and dementia. My dad died from starvation when I was a baby because he had psychotic depression. And my brother had schizophrenia and hung himself, accusing their mom of putting people inside of him.
Yeah, and I will say, though, like, with all that, at no point does she doubt her own sanity.
Right.
Like, well, every family member I had was, like, stark raving mad and foaming at the mouth, but I'm sane.
Right. Yeah, and she does draw that she never let her mom anywhere near her son, and then let her around Charlie, and she, like, got her hooks in her immediately.
Yeah, so, like, no contact from the first person, like allowed mom to close. Is this where also, like, she mentioned at some point, like, her mom wanted to, like, breastfeed Charlie or something.
I think that was during that part, yeah. Yeah, she even makes a little diorama of that later, which was a little fucking disturbing.
Yeah, she deals with her trauma through miniatures, apparently, which is, I guess, a way to do it. But
And then back at home, Peter's smoking a bong by the window and gets an invite to a party that tells him to bring his dick. And somebody
I'm sorry,
outside
man.
watching him.
Yeah, and also I'm saying, like, if your son is ripping bongs in his bedroom and you're not aware of it, like, you're not being a present parent.
And he's not
Like, that
trying
shit would
hard
reek like
at all to cover up. There's so many things you
no.
can do to cover up the smell, and he's just like, I'll just open my window a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like not even blowing out of the window. He's like, I guess a little bit, but he's just like ripping the bong in the middle of his room with a closed window. He's like, oh, I should go open the window now. I'm just like, no, you're done, dude. Like the whole house smells like weed.
All right.
I don't care how big this place is. Like you just fucking hotboxed your entire fucking cottage mansion. Yeah, we do see. Yeah, there's like breath coming out of like the tree house, like someone's watching him from there,
Right.
which is just what makes me think like they're just the cultists are just here all the time. Like
Yes.
they never had to get into the house because they were just fucking there. So plenty of points in the movie, you hear like weird little creaks and people like looking up at the ceiling. What the fuck was that?
Right. Charlie is apparently a bird taxidermist, and she's also constantly eating candy during this movie, and it's important to the movie, does this clicking noise with her tongue.
Yeah, it's like her stimming noise.
Right. A weird light shines into the room, and she stands her bed, and like the light directs her to look out of her window. And yeah, mom's getting emails to see where she's at on her project. And meanwhile, Charlie is walking around outside with her dead bird head and sees a lady sitting in front of a big ass fire in the woods, and just reacts by clicking her tongue. And mom comes up and screams at her for not wearing shoes.
And doesn't see the fire lady like in the distance,
What was
I guess.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, and just before this, Peter is like trying. It's like, "Hey, mom, can I take the car somewhere?" She's like, "Where are you taking the car?" She's like, "School barbecue," which I don't think is a thing.
At night. And yeah, she's just like, don't drink, and then tells him, take your sister, and she doesn't even want to go. And then
he's like, does she want to go? He's like, it's like, ask her. And then like the mom just goes, you're going. There'll be people there. You'll have friends. You'll like adjust and like go have fun. You're going. It's just like Jesus.
Yeah, fully she acknowledges that this is a high school party and people are going to be drinking and shit. And it's just like, no, you need to go make friends with drunk teenagers.
Well, I think it was just to get her out of the house or something. Like, I don't know. It's weird. The motivation's weird for that. Yeah, it's just like I just want to be alone, just like to work on my shit and not be bothered and like go. Just leave me alone.
Right. And then the party. You get a quick shot of them on the way to the party when they're driving there with the
one
insignia
light post for like 300 fucking miles. Yeah,
right.
Like, it's literally nothing on this road except this one fucking telephone pole. And it's like the same insignia that fucking grandma had like in her necklace, like we see at the funeral.
Which means somehow they planned what follows, which is cool, scary transition back with the mom of the grandma standing in a doorway watching the mom and dad sleep, but then it's the miniature of it. It like zooms out and she's working on a miniature. And Peter goes to smoke a bong with his crush, and then is like, Charlie, they're eating cake over there. Go eat the cake. Like, get the fuck away from me. I'm trying to get some.
Mm-hmm. He's like, can I come with you? He's like, no.
Yeah. I also was like, why is nobody concerned that a child is at this party? Having gone to a high school party, somebody would have been like, hey, there's a little fucking kid here.
Like, not even like I'd be that concerned for the kid. I'd be concerned for what would happen to me when something happens to you, like a back room or something. Just like put on a fucking Nickelodeon DVD or something. Just stay here.
A guy asked Peter if his sister is hot, by the way, and he doesn't react at all. Okay, she's 10, dude. What the fuck? Ignores some call from his mom.
13, but yeah, like just.
And then Charlie walks up into his room wheezing and is like, I can't breathe. And he runs her out to the car, and I put in all caps, why does nobody ever have her EpiPen? Like, it should be strapped to her fucking ankle if it is this goddamn severe.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she should have it, like, for, like, nothing else. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he fucking tries. Like, he, like, gets her, like, leaves the party immediately, like, carries her to the car, puts her in the car, like, starts trying to go straight to the hospital.
Right. And again, I don't know how the fuck they plan this like this. It's insane to me. I don't know if somebody was at the party serving the cake, but yeah, the infamous
the only thing I could think of is maybe like because she's like, we find out Paimon later that like she was drawn to the symbol, maybe like or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The timing is impeccable to make this happen, but
or like there was some intentionality to it. Like maybe Charlie knew more things than we were aware of.
Maybe. Yeah, she's trying to breathe. He's hauling ass to take her to the hospital, and she leans her head out the window trying to like catch more air. And Peter hears a
dead animal in the middle of the street.
Yeah, there's like a dead deer. He swerves off, and then he stops and like takes a deep breath, is like,
God,
you okay? And then just slowly starts driving away. I don't know how I would react in this situation.
yeah. No, this whole scene, like, props to this kid for his like acting in it without saying like a fucking word. He's just like, you can just he like starts looking back towards like the rearview mirror. He's like, I can't fucking look at the rearview mirror, and he just fucking like just drives off because like she hit her head, just like impacts the pole, and like we get like a distance view of just going like, boop.
Yeah, dude. And trying to handle this high as fuck, I can't imagine. And then he
Yeah, and
pulls
he
the
just like
worst
goes
prank
home.
ever and just goes to bed.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he was like completely in shock and stoned off his ass and shit, and like just like he didn't even sleep. He just shows him like lay down and like not even blink, and just like goes from like night to day. Then we hear the the theme of the worst women, the worst sound like woman can possibly make from both these women. I don't know which one is worse, but like holy shit.
I think Toni Collette's definitely fucking, she acts the shit out of this, which is like how I would imagine I would react, Jess would react to losing a child to begin with, but finding out this way, oh my fucking god. But yeah, she's just on
Yeah.
all fours, just the most primal, blood-curdling screaming, just, I can't, it hurts too much, I need to die, like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it just shows like fucking Peter like in the hallway just standing there fucking listening to fucking all of this that like he unintentionally caused in his mind. Like, it's a complete fucking accident. Well, not an accident, it's intentional from the fucking cult, but in his mind an accident.
Right, yeah. And then we're seeing a funeral. This poor dad, the whole movie, is just trying so hard to keep it together for everybody, like checking on everybody.
I mean, yeah, he did nothing wrong this entire movie. Like, if there's a faultless character in a horror movie, it is the dad in fucking Hereditary.
He's my favorite character in the whole movie by far.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter wall changes and says Zazas now, which is also important to
Yep.
get King Paimon
Oh,
stuff.
also, just one thing we do get, I forgot it's a cut, is we do get to see the head on the freeway, which is like,
Yes.
I think worse than the Hereditary.
Oh my
heads.
god. Yes, just a random flash cut while she's screaming to Charlie's head, which has been in, it is corroding, it has bugs all over it, it is fucking horrific.
Yeah, no one's got it yet, apparently. It's like
Then sees the light in the treehouse come on, which is Annie going out there to sleep there because that's where Charlie would sleep. And Dad is going through her drawings and sees one weird one of like a bird king that doesn't react to that at all. And then Peter's just back at school and should not be at school. His hair is disgusting and oily.
Yeah, he like bags under his eyes, looks like he hasn't slept. He's like hallucinating the fucking rearview mirror, like in his fucking like peripheral vision from the car.
And then he's smoking weed under the bleachers with his buddies and starts having a full-blown panic attack. And I thought it was a door pull because they're like, are you okay, dude?
Yeah.
He's like, just hold my hand. Just hold my hand. And I put normalize holding your gross hand.
Yeah, and he's just like, it's just weed, bro. Like, okay.
And then he comes home and Annie's sleeping in the car. And I also was like, why would you keep this car? I would get rid of the car.
Yeah. There is no level of deep cleaning you can get in that won't, like, that will remove everything. Like, you'll see something eventually.
Yeah, absolutely torch the fucking car.
It's like she's just sleeping basically where Charlie used to be. Like, it's like she's not doing good.
And then she wakes up and drives to Grief Meeting Part 2.
Yeah, and like he's about to go in, like about to leave, then this like sweet matronly woman comes running up to her. It's like, oh dear, I saw you in there last week.
Yeah, Aunt Lydia from Handmaid's Tale is in this movie, and she kills her part too. And it basically says like, it helps to not be alone. I lost my son and my grandson drowned, and she's just like, oh my god. And
it's like, that's holy shit. Like, it like actually snaps her out of her, like, people have suffered worse than me. Shit, like, for a moment.
And writes something down on a piece of paper and is like, if you need someone to talk to, use this. Comes home and tells her husband she was at the movies again. He tries to comfort her for like 2 seconds in bed, and she immediately gets up and goes to sleep in the treehouse. And he's starting to unravel a bit at this point, where he's getting like sick of everybody's shit. Because just for a second, he's like, it's gonna get real cold out there.
It's like, I'll be right back. She's like, you're taking the blanket, you're not coming back.
Someone slips a seance ad on top of their mail in the slot in the door, which drove me nuts that the mail wasn't pushed all the way through. And she's working on a diorama of the house and includes the little Satano writing on the wall in Charlie's bedroom, which I thought was kind of cool.
She's a true artist. She needs to represent what she sees.
And then,
through this whole time, Jonathan's been hearing Charlie's clicks. Just
Peter, not Jonathan.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter. Sorry, too many white people names in this fucking. Yeah, Peter, Jonathan, Mark, Christian. Need some ethnicity here.
She goes to Joni's and like stops to look at the welcome mat outside Joni's and is like, when she comes in, she's like, my mom used to make ones exactly like that. Red flag number 1. Should have, yeah, you're right. She should have dug through that box just a few fucking seconds longer, dude.
Yep, would have changed the entire movie.
And she describes to Joni finding Charlie's body and stuff in the car, and Joni's like,
Yeah, 'cause
how's
we
your
never see it,
relationship with
like-
your son? And she's just like, ugh. And tells a story about how she
It's like, well-
sleepwalked and tried to burn them alive.
Yeah, all framed in this, like, everyone's being so goddamn unreasonable about it, kind of like fucking tone.
Right. Yeah, dude. Like taking
It's like, you're-
no ownership for it. It was just like, I could never convince him that I was just sleepwalking. And I'm like, hey, did you try that hard, or did you react exactly how you're acting right now?
It's like, this is a thing that happens. Like, of course, I would never hurt anyone in real life. I was just sleepwalk. Just like, yeah, but you're not worried there's like some subconscious thing driving that? It's like, no, it's just sleepwalk.
Yeah, she's like, I put the match out immediately, and I'm like, I don't think
Yeah.
you're catching what they were upset about, dude.
And after all that, I keep my notes up here. Yeah, she pretty much like ruined her relationship with her son forever, which, understandable. And yeah, then we cut to her making a miniature of her daughter's death scene. It's just still like this whole time. It's like, what? This is fine. This is just like, what's the problem?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. He reacts to it too. Finally, he comes in. He's just like, what the fuck? And he's like, I came to see. He's like, are you coming down for dinner? She's like, I'll make dinner soon. He's like, I already made the fucking dinner. I'm seeing if you're coming down. Then he walks away. He's like, come down. I don't give a shit. I'm like, come on, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up, Steven.
Yeah, she's even like, you're not going to let Peter see this, right? She's like, oh, he won't mind. It's just a neutral view of the accident.
Right.
Like, at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm calling a therapist to come into the house tomorrow. We're ambushing her.
And then they have a silent, tense, awkward dinner until Peter's like, are you okay? And then he's like, what's on your mind? Is there something you want to say? And he's like, just say it. And she starts screaming at him about how it is his fault. She knows it's an accident, but it is his fault. Nobody ever takes ownership for what they've done. And she really looks like a demon when she starts screaming, dude. And she's a great actress, but the way her face contorts when she's like viscerally screaming at her son, I'm like, she looks evil.
Especially that no one takes ownership for what they've done. It's like, did we not just have the scene about you almost lighting your son on fire and you're dismissing it? Like, yeah. And yeah, and then like he's just sitting there quiet and just counters like, why did she have to go to the party?
Mic drop on her. Why was she there, Mom?
Yeah.
And then Steven's like, enough. And she's like, fine. And then gets up and one more time, like, fine. You're like the most childish person at the table right now. And then she next day is working on a miniature of the preschool and goes to get some more supplies and sees Joan, who tells her she met a medium and went to the seance. I guess the ad didn't work, I guess is why this is happening. They put an ad at her house and she didn't respond to it.
Okay, she didn't respond to the flyer. We need to go talk to her.
And it's like, they let me speak to my grandson. She came to my apartment and conjured my grandson. And she's like, I know. And also, she's like really physical while they're talking. She's like grabbing stuff in her arms and like straightening it out for her. And like every time she like turns her head, she's like grabbing her head and turning it back and shit. I'm like, this is an intense ass conversation.
Oh yeah, it's critical. Like, I mean, to her, this is like all or nothing. Like, just like if they don't have her do this now, they're fucked because like shit's moving. The fucking bodies are rotting and shit.
Right. And then she goes to Joni's and does the seance and like leaves no room for question if this is real or not, because the glass slides immediately, pulls out a chalkboard and she's writing on it, and Annie's like looking under the table and shit to see if anything is causing this. Right.
She gets like puff of air in her face and shit too. And she's like, okay, stop. This is fucking freaky. And they call it all off. She's like, I'm gonna leave. She's like, oh, well, before you leave, here's exactly how to do the spell.
Yeah. And as she's leaving, she says, you didn't kill her, Annie. She isn't gone. And she's just like, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then jump scare number 1,000 as she's driving away. She hears the click behind her in the car.
Then we, yet again, this movie's so freaky. Like the dream scenes are hard to fucking differentiate from the real shit, kind of like fucking Midsommar.
Yeah, but they nail what dreams are like in this too. The way like shit doesn't make sense, but does make sense. But yeah, she wakes up to ants like in a line to her son's room, follows the ants, and they're like in his mouth, covering his eyes and everything. And she like tries to scream, but can't, like you do in a dream.
Mhm.
And then Peter wakes up
And
and
she like
she's like,
wakes
"It's
up.
Charlie." And then he's like, "Why are you scared of me?" And she's like, "I never wanted to be your mother." And then like covers her mouth. Like, I can't believe I just said
Yeah, it's
that.
like the words are being like forced out of her. And she's like, "Grandma pressured me to have a kid. I tried to stop it by having a miscarriage." And she like basically said like it's like threw myself downstairs and like drinking and smoking, just like everything, like just didn't work.
And then while they're talking, all of a sudden they're all wet and they're covered in paint thinner again. And then lights a match and then he's on fire and then she wakes up. Like, yeah, they really nailed what a dream feels like, because they're
Yeah,
just wet all of a sudden. And I love the little transitions in the dream scene. And
yeah,
she
and then she
scarily
wakes
wakes
up.
everybody up by getting right in their fucking faces.
Yeah, like Christmas morning level excited.
Yes.
She's like, "Okay, we're gonna try something. We're gonna do something. We're gonna."
Yeah, she's like fully manic and gets everybody down there. And she's like, "Joan taught me how to do this." And
She's like, "I'm a medium now."
yeah, she says it like it's a known fact. She's like, I'm a medium. I'm a medium. And I don't know where
Yeah.
exactly she decided that. I mean, I know she tried this
She's like, "I
before she
already did
woke
the
them
spell."
up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, "I already did it." It's like, oh god.
And the way Steven reacts throughout this entire seance is everything to me. It's
He's
so
just like,
goddamn
"Oh my
funny.
god, no!" He's just like, "Please, no! Like, please tell me my wife is not this insane."
She starts reading the incantation. He's like, "What language even is that?" And
But yeah,
then
then shit starts quickly happening.
yeah, Peter feels the air flexing. Shit starts flying all over the place. She's like, "Show him what you did earlier." And then window shatters. He feels the air flexing. Candle turns into a flamethrower for a fucking second.
Yeah, and he like looks under, like looking for like a gas line or something. He's like, "What the fuck?"
And then I have to know if Toni Collette did this or if they added this later, but the growling noise she makes where she like snaps into something else and she's just like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, and then she starts like calling out like in Charlie's voice, like, "Where's mom? Where's mom? Why are you all scared?"
Steven just splashes her with water and Peter is completely losing it. And she's like, what happened?
Yeah, he's like, "What? Why'd you do that?"
And then the wall changes
And
again to say Liftoch Pandemonium, which means open chaos. And boy, does it. The rest of the movie from here on out,
yeah,
it's absolutely batshit.
yeah, it's like yeah, Peter is like starting to see like the little glint light thing now, like leading him around and shit. Mom flips and just destroys all of her fucking miniatures and shit.
Yeah, this part cracked me up too. Right, Steven calls her, and yeah, Peter sees his reflection smiling at him, which scares the shit out of me. And then here's the click, and then Steven calls Annie. He's like, "Can you guess who just called me from school in complete hysterics?" And she's like, "Charlie." He's like, "What?" And he's like, "No, it was Peter
And
calling to say he's being threatened by a vengeful spirit." And it's like, "I still have a son to protect," and then pisses her the fuck off. And Gallery
he's like,
leaves a
"Don't you dare
message.
hang up on me."
Yeah. Yeah, she leaves a message like, "Don't fucking hang up on me ever again." And then the Gallery is like, "Hey, just calling to check in on you and see if you're
They're like
making
the
any
nicest way
progress."
possible.
Right.
They're like, it's like we're thinking of you, we're thinking of your family, like we appreciate your work. If you need an extension, we can happily give you one. Don't worry about it. She's like, "Oh." It's like, yeah, that was so nice. Like they obviously value your work and they're gonna give you more time.
And then they come home and briefly mention this. And the fact that they didn't look further into this when you find out what it is, he's like, "What is that
Yeah, the house.
smell?" And then that's it. And then when you find out what the smell is, I'm like, bro, I would have ripped the house apart finding what that fucking
Oh,
smell
dude,
is.
I had a fucking mouse die in the wall a few years ago, and you should have seen the fucking holes I put in the wall trying to find that thing.
Exactly, dude.
No, I would have been like, it's like, no, we're finding this now, we're burning this bitch down. Like those are the two options.
Yeah, that happened in my office. There was a dead mouse like in a drain in the janitor's closet, and I could not rest until we figured out what the source of that was. Steven sees all the smashed miniatures, and she's like, "I just didn't want to look at it anymore." And you see one of the miniatures has a decapitated body in a bed. I'm like, why is she doing this?
This is her process trying to work with it, but it's not working, apparently.
It is really disturbing for anybody that looks at your work, but yeah. And now Steven's sleeping on the couch and is taking sleeping pills, and then like stops and is like, "Not one more," and takes another sleeping pill. And thank God he did. And he walks in Charlie's room, and the notebook's being flipped through and drawn on by nothing. And Peter wakes up to a click and sees Charlie in his room, and like another terrifying transition thing. She like her head leans down and falls and it's a ball. And someone starts pulling on his head. and
Underneath the bed, yeah.
yeah.
Which, yet again, could that have been a cultist? Is that his mom? Was that Charlie? We have no fucking idea who that was. Like,
I kind of think it was Annie. I think she's going back and forth from sleepwalking to being there, especially, how the movie ends. I think she's starting to get like taken over, and I think she did it.
Well, I think that was the whole thing is, once like Charlie started screaming from her mouth, like Paimon's inside of her now. So like it's game over.
Yeah. And she's in his room and she's like, that wasn't me. What happened? And then she like, even for a moment is like, this stops right here. Don't you dare tell your fucking dad I did this. And I'm like, Jesus, bitch.
It's like, I can fix this, but don't tell anyone that I'm fixing this.
And then you see the notebook is a bunch of pictures of Peter with his eyes X'd out. And she tries to burn it.
And it burns her back.
Yeah, it starts burning her arm, and she makes a connection pretty quickly that it's because of the book and pulls it out and stomps it out. Whole time, by the way, Steven's asleep on the couch right next to this. And I need whatever sleeping pills those were. And then another cool transition where it zooms out on the house and, it shows it in daylight and they just snap. Now it snaps from nighttime to daytime. And
which happens again later to a much different effect.
Yes.
Yeah, but she goes to see Joan. Basically, he's like, "What the fuck spell did you just give me?" Like,
right. And Joan's not there. Yeah,
but we pull into her apartment and we see just like it's like the grandma's sigil is like on the wall, and there's all this like spellcraft shit at the table, and there's a picture of fucking God, I keep forgetting his name, Peter's head, like with like the eyes scratched out and all this like weird witchy shit like all around it, and some of like Charlie's models, and she's obviously fucking a part of this.
Makeshift models all bowing down to one model that has the decapitated bird head. Excellent foreshadowing. And then we're at school again, and once again, somebody's standing. They must all have like a restraining order on schools where they can't get close to a school because she's very, very far away. Just, and he's like, huh? Like me?
Yeah, he's just like, I expel you, Peter. He's like trying to like kick him out of his body or something, apparently, at this point, we find out.
I can't imagine sitting outside of like lunch at school and that far away, somebody's screaming my name, just like, anybody else seeing this shit?
I think it is magic or something, though, because like all the sound around him like deadens out and it's like just her voice like loud in his ears and shit. So
Annie finally goes through the boxes.
Yep. Maybe there's a clue in here, and finds just like 36 photos of like Joan and her mom. It's like, like best buddies.
Yeah, like literally all the lore she needs to figure out what the fuck is going on was sitting right there the whole time. She sees that, a book that says invocations on it, like that never piqued your fucking interest, and has like highlighted directions to summoning King Paimon. And it says, when successfully invoked, King Paimon will possess the most vulnerable host. Only when the ritual is complete will he be locked in the ordained host. Once locked in, a new ritual is required to unlock the possession. King Paimon is a male, thus covetous of a male human body. And like, bitch, like it was all right there for you. You could have read it fucking 4 days ago.
Yeah, highlighted and underlined. Like fucking
dude.
Not even
like bookmarked, like here it is, right here, the thing you're looking for.
And I have brothers following the flicker again.
Yep.
And I think like the dad gets like photos of like desecrated grandma's grave, which has just been like completely fucking dug up. Like,
yeah, as part of like an insurance claim. And then the meantime, Annie's finally going up to the attic, and as soon as she opens it, flies pour out of it, and I'm already nauseous. Like, I know.
Also, those flies go away later. There was like thousands of flies that came out of that house. They would still be in that fucking house like later.
They reproduce. Like they're going to make more of them. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah, and she goes up to the attic and finds grandma's body with no head with the lit candle at its feet, which means someone was just fucking there.
The fucking house. Done. Light it on fire. We're done. Bye.
Yep.
Stephen reacting to how she just didn't handle it at all was also fucking hilarious. Yeah, the insignia's on the wall in there in blood. And then back to the school again, and another scene that has the visuals burned into my head for eternity, where he starts hearing the click over and over again, and then his body starts fucking, his like arm contorts up, and the teacher like he's raising his hand. And another thing I want to know is if he did this to his face, or like how they did this, because the way he contorts his face, I can't do if I try.
Probably how I got the job. It's like, okay, how bad can you fuck up your face? Oh, good, you got the job, son.
Well, like old boy from It, like that thing with the eyes. He can
just do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. There's like a story of like fucking him like doing that to like one of the producers who like didn't know how that he could do that, and like making the producer like shit his pants. Also, too, I was wondering like when he's like up like this, like it almost looks like someone's got him like a half Nelson, is like fucking like slamming his body, like
Oh,
it's like the
100%.
demon.
Yeah, starts smashing his face down over and over, and then he like snaps out of it and screams bloody murder. And one kid is standing there with his
Yeah,
phone out recording.
accurate. There's always one.
And then the school's
And
trying to
yeah,
call Annie, but she's too busy having a meltdown in the rain. So they call Steven, who's drunk at work, and he goes and picks up Peter and stops at a red light and just like for the first time in the movie has his own little emotional moment and cries. And I'm like, this poor
well, he
motherfucker.
almost that's the whole thing. He almost like runs it and gets T-boned, and he's just like fuck, like just like freaking out about it, and
I love Peter, and then what
like
happens in this scene is just so bad.
yeah, then he gets home from this just like fucking like beaten to death like by the world, and like his wife's like, okay, I figured out how to save this. You have to kill me. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. She's like, I need you
And
to
it's
go
like
into the
he's like,
attic. My mother's up there, but her head's gone. And he's like, not even react. He's just like, okay, dude, let's go in the fucking attic. And then he's like pulling down the ladder, and she's like, but there's more. And he's like, more than your mother's headless body. Of course there is.
and he doesn't believe her at first. He just goes up there, he's like, oh god, and flies, and like he's like she's like downstairs like making the fire, and he's like, ah!
Goes down. He's like, why the fuck didn't you call the police? And I'm like, valid. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, like it's like you've been doing this, haven't you? Like all those nights you've been sneaking out, and like you're fucking insane. Like,
Yeah, also valid. And he's like slowly walking, and she's like trying to tell him about the book and like covering it in lighter fluid. And it was like, you are the love of my life. And I'm like, this is the first ounce of love she has shown this man the whole movie. And he's just like, I'm not going to do this with you anymore. You're sick. I need to call the police. And she just like doesn't even listen to the rest of what he has to say and throws it into the fire. And he just full exorcist style just whoosh, goes up in
yeah,
flames.
instantly engulfed. Yeah, and then
In
like
horror, watching him burn, doesn't try anything. And then, well, but then,
yeah, well, she stands there horror.
yeah,
Yeah, then she gets whammied by the fucking flash, and then that's actual game over.
I put in parentheses, honestly, the light effect is the only dumb part of this movie to me. I feel like they could have done something different. I didn't really like it, but it is what it is.
And what it reminds me of is like when they're doing like Tinkerbell in a stage play of Peter Pan. That's
Right.
what it kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, no, that's a good comparison. And then, yeah, like you said earlier, we get another cool transition from day to night, but this time it's day to night. And this is where
Yep.
all the shit happens. All of my
Yeah.
traumatic memories of this movie are right here.
So yeah, when it cuts to night, first of all, did you notice like the dozen cultists that were standing out in the yard?
No, I didn't know that until I was looking up Easter eggs for this movie, and that is horrifying.
Yeah, yeah. It cuts like 5 seconds, and there's like all these like naked ash covered cultists like standing in the yard, but like it's done in a way yet again you're not.
Yes, you're nodding.
focused
I'm
on them,
assuming
so
you
can-
noticed that.
When you watch an Ari Aster movie, there's nothing that's perchance. Every single thing is on purpose. So I'm very much
Mhm.
like, and Annie is up in the corner of his bedroom when it cuts back, and they just like never acknowledge
Mhm.
that. She's just
Yeah.
there.
That I saw.
Yeah, and there's like
that scares
it,
the
like,
fuck out of me.
yeah. Then it, like cuts to a different perspective. It just shows her like wall running across like the fucking wall out of the room
Well,
and
she's-
shit silently.
At a certain point, she's not even on the wall. She's just like crawling through the air, silently out of the
Yeah.
door. Yeah.
And he walks down. He's like still all fucked up from like his concussion from school, and like the house is trash. He sees like his dad's dead body is like still fucking there. And yet again, we have like mom's like up in the fucking corner, fucking just like over the entire scene. And yet again, not even the most terrifying thing in the room. Like his dad's scorched body and his mom fucking like lurking in the rafters. Then he turns and there's just like this fucking like naked guy just standing in the door
Yeah.
like so happy.
You know
Like-
what? Small little detail here made it scarier to me. He has like a tattoo on his chest that just makes him look more like just a normal guy that is losing his shit. Small little thing, but
Yeah.
it made it clear to me that he doesn't look like a cultist. He just looks like a guy
Yeah.
that is snapped.
Yeah, and then Anne just like runs out of the shadows of the corner, fucking teleport style. She can just fucking teleport now.
Again, I've seen this movie before, but when she's on the ceiling, and then when he turns around, she's in the shadows coming at him, and that scared the fuck out of me. And I really want to know how much of this was done by the cast and how much was special effects, because the things they can do with their bodies are insane. Because he runs up
Yeah.
into the attic, and she's banging her head on the door at such a speed
Yeah.
that it is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they sped it up or something. Yeah, and he gets up there, he's like, "I'm safe," and he looks around and like realizes the entire attic is filled with candles and flies. He's like, "I'm not safe." And you can even see like at that cut when he's looking around, like in the darkness behind him, like there's another cultist like in the fucking shadows. Just like
another naked
in
bitch.
the...
Oh my god.
Yep.
And he starts smacking
And then
himself and is like, I just gotta wake up. I just gotta wake up. And then you hear the most disturbing squelching sound. And he looks up,
yep,
and this
and we
one
get the
is
money.
private. Looks up, and mom is hovering in the air, just starts out at a slow pace. Just fuck, bro.
Yeah, just like one of those like rope chain like saw things, I'm guessing is what that is. Like those little like survival, or it's like a wire or something. They never really expressly say what it is, but I always assumed it's like, you ever seen like those survival chainsaws?
Yes.
It's like just like a little like yeah, like diamond toothed wire,
Right.
basically with like two hooks on it at the end. Yeah, she's just like, and he's just like, and then like there's a thump, and he looks down. There's like 5 cultists like standing right in front of him, smiling, and he's just like, "Nope, window's better," and he just turns around. And
Yeah. Very quick
swan dives
reaction,
out, like, the
and
fourth
like,
story.
and I literally had to cover my eyes when she cuts her head off. I don't care how many times I see this; it scares the shit out of me because she's eyes. She does it, and it's just...
Yeah. Well, the worst part too is like he jumps out of the window and hits the ground, and you still hear it sa 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 sa, silence.
Yeah.
Thump.
Yeah, the subtitles say sawing completes. And
Yeah, then we see like a shadow leave his body, and the glimmer fucking enters it.
yeah, that part was kind of a cool effect to show what happens instead of like announcing it. Also, earlier when shit starts going down in the house and the dog is barking and the door slams on him, I'm like, where did this dog come from? I haven't seen this dog the entire movie. And then
Yeah.
right here, the dog is dead by the tree line. I'm like, what was the point of the dog to be in 2 scenes?
I guess just for wrapping all the plot points up. So I guess it's like, oh yeah, the dog's dead.
All over the tree line, and just like in Midsommar, it starts playing this happy like resolution music almost, and Peter, quote unquote, starts walking into the treehouse,
Yeah.
and it looks just like the
That's because
miniature
like,
scene at
for the first time.
Joni's. Huh?
Yeah, he clicks for the first time too here.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when he's walking. And yeah, we see like mom's like headless corpse like just fucking ascend into the fucking treehouse. So like, yeah, well, whatever like doubts you had of magic.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, everybody's naked and bowing, just like the scene at Joni's, and they've got a weird mannequin with Charlie's. I think it's Charlie's head is on top of the mannequin with like a
Yeah.
makeshift crown on top of it, and then everybody else's decapitated body is there bowing down to the
Yeah,
mannequin.
grandma and mom's. Like, we never see her, but then like Joan starts talking to him.
Yeah, you see a picture of grandma that says Queen Lee, and they put the crown on Peter's head, and Joni is like, Charlie, it's okay. You're Payman, one of the 8 kings of hell. And I had seen this movie before, and I don't know if I spaced out for the end of this movie, if I was just so strung out by the mom scene, but I didn't remember any of that. I didn't realize that the end is Charlie in Peter's body, and that Charlie is Payman. And then they're like, we corrected your first female body and gave you this healthy male host after we beat the living shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My nose hurts. Yeah, sorry about that.
Amen,
Yeah.
and you get a nice shot of some buttholes and balls, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and again, it like backs out into a miniature again, and that's it.
God.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean the whole thing is just, yeah, because apparently like this was supposed to happen with him initially, but she didn't let her mom near fucking her son while she was pregnant and shit. So they had to take 2 on the second kid. So this has been a long haul plan. Like they've been playing this for fucking decades.
Yeah, I think you're right that Aster has some serious family trauma, because both of these movies are like toxic relationships. And there's a fun fact in here about Hereditary and what it was supposed to be before.
Ari Aster actually, so when he made Hereditary, I think that was like his first feature film. He made a bunch of like YouTube horror shorts prior to that. And there's one called Munchausen.
Oh,
And
God.
it's very like whoever his mom is, she's like, I relate her like akin to Eminem's mom. Like she must fucking suck.
Yeah.
And all of his, like, he also did the short Something Strange About the Johnsons. Nick, I don't know if you've seen that. Devin, I'm sure you haven't. It's fucking horrific. Like, it's the worst thing ever. So whatever his family trauma, I hope he writes a book one day, because I would fucking read it twice. But yeah, it's definitely, he wrote this. He used like his familial journals from when he was younger when he made this movie. So
God damn.
yikes.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
need
I
to
guess you
know
had
the
to suck real
background
hard to
behind it.
make art this good. It's like Adele's ex-boyfriend.
He made Midsommar after his breakup with like a long-term girlfriend. So this one is supposed to be his family trauma, and Midsommar was the worst breakup ever. Make it art.
I think for Christian, it was the worst breakup ever. I feel like Danny came out of it pretty good.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, on that note, the end of Hereditary and Midsommar are again mirrored as opposites because there's a crowning for both of them, and one of
Oh,
them is being I'm doing this. It's horrible and awful, but I'm happy about this crowning. Whereas Peter's like, man, what the fuck is this? I got a crown though.
I guess like Charlie Peter seems really confused at the end of this whole thing, which makes me question how much
Right.
Paimon is aware of what's happening.
Right.
Well, the clicking with Charlie is when I was reading about it, that was supposed to be like the manifestation to tell like that she is possessed and has been this whole time, but she was passed up because, like you said, the Annie protected Peter from her mom. So the spirit of Paimon went into Charlie instead. And then when she was died, it was kind of in like spirit limbo. But the actual King Paimon is kind of like a unisex demon. It's got like both feminine and masculine characteristics, but it's supposed to be within a male vessel.
Yeah.
So
Well, and there's
yeah.
the part where
no,
she
yeah.
says that it happened to her brother, where she says he said his mom was putting people in him. So men just get fucked in this family. Well,
Yeah, no, it's like you said. It's like I wonder if like Paimon was like a baby demon. Like it's like because like it's like Charlie doesn't seem nefarious. Like
right.
I don't know. It's a weird line. Like because like
Or there's
it's
a
not like the
possibility that
Omen
none
or
of them know
Rosemary's
what
Baby.
the fuck they're doing, and they're not actually summoning Payman into these people, and they just summon Charlie into her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're just assuming they got this down to a science.
They're doing something. Like they
No, yeah, for
something's
sure.
happening.
But I'm just saying maybe they just summoned Charlie, and it has nothing to do with Payman because they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That'd be ironic. We summoned a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, they should show like a satirical scene of 5 years later where it's still just Charlie, and they're like, "What the fuck, man? Where's our fucking
And
riches and shit?"
it's just making his fucking little dolls and shit. It's like, so where do we get the money? I heard wealth. Like, do we sell these on Etsy? Like, what do we do?
All right. Well, now is the part of the show where we take these two movies through 10 rounds and declare a winner. And this may be one of the tightest matchups we ever done. We all have our scorecards ready.
Yeah.
I know personally my scorecard has it very, very tight. But let's get
Same.
into it. Let me get my Round 1, opening trauma. Which film hooks harder with its gut-punching opening, Midsommar's Family Trauma, or Hereditary's shocking death of Charlie? In order on my screen is how I'm going to do it, so Jess, why don't you go first?
My scorecard is also very, very, very close because I'm a Ari Aster stan, and these two movies are wonderful. I put it Midsommar 9 and Hereditary 10. And the reason I put it so close is because I feel like Midsommar does such a good job of accurately portraying grief in a human way, like
Yeah.
Danny's complete visceral meltdown in her apartment where it zooms out and it's snowing. Like that's
Definitely feels a
you
lot
can
less
feel her
surreal.
hurt like in her belly. But Hereditary is, of course, we just watch a fucking kid get decapitated. Like that's insane. And then the mom's guttural screams that
Yeah.
she's got going on after the fact, like you can tell she just wants to fucking die. And
Which is
they're just
a primal thing
perfectly portrayed.
any parent can
Yeah.
relate to. Like, even imagining it, you're just like, I cannot see wanting to continue life in any way, shape, or form. Like,
Yeah. And that's what gave it the little extra 1 point for me. And I'm also just fucking obsessed with Toni Collette.
yeah,
She can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick?
Hereditary wins.
Yeah, I think I am just 1 point in the opposite direction, just because. Well, I guess like I don't know, like it's that thing where like sometimes the thing you don't see is more horrific. Like I guess, but like just how well done that like reveal shot in Midsummer is, like with the parents and the daughter, and like that slow track in from like the car up the stairs to like what's happened to them, and like Danny's like calling the phone and then like cutting to the scene. I just like I feel like that like just hit me more emotionally because I was more attached to it. Like I don't have a kid, so like I don't get that emotional uppercut like from like losing a kid. It's like, oh, it sucks, kid died, but like I don't have that emotional reference to it. But I think the thing they did was great. with how little they showed of what happened to Charlie, but like a lot of like so much of it is implied in just audio that like I just got like more of a visual. I guess I'm a visual learner more than an auditory learner. Like just like how they presented it was more traumatic to me than like just kind of focusing up on the brother's face and just like having it just left to the imagination.
Right.
So I'm gonna give a 10 to Midsummer, 9 to Hereditary for mine.
Okay, well, I did the exact same thing as Jess. I gave a 9 to Midsommar, 10 to Hereditary. Pretty much all the exact same reasons. Also very, very tied. Midsommar feels a lot less surreal, like feels way more realistic, but still like it's like Midsommar was a 10 on the traumatic death scale, and then Hereditary is like they snapped the dial and went up to 11 of like, like I said, every parent imagining, like, I can't imagine this happening. They're like, what if it happened and it was the worst fucking way that could happen ever? Your son just, like I said, plays the worst prank on you ever. Like, yeah.
I'm just gonna leave that for them to find in the morning. That'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, it's very, very close. Like, yeah, the subtleness of the death in Midsommar is really strong and horrific at the same time, but that is just so devastating in Hereditary. Yeah. And like most movies where something like that happens, usually they just cut to like there'd be like a single scream and then we cut to like later. And Hereditary is like,
Yeah.
look at it and don't look away. So Hereditary wins that round on a 2-1 split, taking us into round 2. Aesthetic horror, The Daylight Cult versus The Shadowed House. Which visual style is more disturbing? Jess?
I actually tied the two of them for this one, which is rough because they're so wildly different. Like I've said several times, like they're mirror images of each other. The darkness and the silence of Hereditary, and then the just in your face, you can't escape the daylight of Midsummer. They're both like a lot of scary movies are dark and done in dark houses and things like that, but Hereditary is so different because it's still, I feel like something in every scene is that like a visual that's burned into your brain in the dark. But with Midsummer, everything like we're just watching fucking faces being blown off by rocks in the daytime, and then we're like, it's time for tea with the elders now. So I couldn't differentiate a winner between the two of those. Sorry.
All right, so we got one tie.
I mean, I think for me, I'm gonna go like 9-7 with leading on Midsummer, just because I can't think of another effective horror movie done in the noonday sun. It's such a interesting way of presenting horror because like so much of time it's just like hidden behind like shadows and darkness and around a corner behind a sheet or something. But yeah, like Midsummer's just like, okay, we're gonna put a spotlight on this, we're gonna get your face right up fucking next to it, and then we're gonna have tea afterwards. And I just like felt like that's like it's just such a fucking like dichotomy of emotions and like visuals and shit that it just like really kind of jumps off the screen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I went 10-9 here. Both are haunting to me. Hereditary in a more classic way, but Midsummer, if I could akin it to anything, it feels like when you get fucked up and do cocaine and stay up all night, and then like your sanity starts coming back to you, and you realize the horrific things that have been happening around you that were cool, but the daylight always makes everything worse, and it's just always daylight, and it's just such a unique, disturbing thing. I thought I was gonna go Hereditary here, but the visual style, like there might be a crude comparison, but that's what it feels like to me. Like when you stay up way too long and then
It's that hyper reality dazed, like fucking, back in the day, like when me and my homies went camping, we figured out if we left at 1 a.m, the 8-hour car ride became a 3.5-hour car ride.
right.
So we just basically used to just like get like blitzed on fucking weed and energy drinks and just drive through the fucking desert at night to like get to our campsites and shit. And yeah, that entire first day is exactly what Hereditary felt like. Everything's like hyper vibrant and green and weird and fucking like you're just like a little displaced from your average perspective.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, trying to come to grips with things with the daylight feels much, much harder. If this movie had taken place on the other end of this, when everything was constantly dark, I don't think it would have had the same effect. But that means Midsummer wins round 2, taking us into round 3, The Grief Olympics. Both are meditations on loss and emotional collapse, which captures grief more authentically and brutally. Yes?
This is my second tie of all of these rounds because they're just perfect. It's Grief Olympics is a really good title to this round because, like I said, Florence Pugh as Danny, I personally can so relate to the amount of anxiety that just lives in her body. She just wakes up stressed out. And also coupled with like the people pleasing aspect of it of like, no, I'm having a really fucking bad time, but don't let that be a burden to you. Like enjoy yourself. And she just absolutely nails it. And then Toni Collette is just the scream queen of my life. That table scene is my favorite scene of the entire movie of Hereditary. And she's like, I am your mother.
Right.
And he's just sitting there like, what the fuck? Because really for the whole movie, their interactions are so minimal. And then he's like, just fucking say it. And then she fucking says it. And it's all of her grief pouring out, as well as her saying another line of hers that I was just like, God damn it, this is so wonderful. Because she says something like, it was all a waste. Like, we can't even do
Right.
anything with this because you won't just fucking say sorry. And it's not even her like being mad at him or holding it over him or resenting him because she wants to. It's because he won't do the one little thing that she needs him to do for her to try and get beyond it. And that's what all of her emotional anguish is building upon, is that he just won't say it. And it's not because he's an asshole. It's because he's a fucking teenager and in complete shock for the rest of the movie after that. But
Yeah, it's like the
yes,
entire
like
fucking
there's
film.
so many scenes where like I imagine him walking down the hallway and he's just like, he looks like he's on another plane of existence. Like he is
Yeah,
just completely removed.
it's like this weird thing where Anne is like expecting him to be a completely emotionally mature adult and like
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
deal with this all rationally. It's like, dude, he's a 14-year-old boy who just fucking unintentionally killed his sister. No, he's not okay.
Right. Like he's clearly internalizing everything, as probably most people would if they were
Yeah,
feeling at
and like all
fault
the
for killing their sister, and she's looking for somewhere to put her anger. And
yeah, the only time we see him comforted is like his dad goes like, "It'll be okay, champ." Like puts
Yeah.
his hand on
yeah,
his shoulder and like that's
Yeah,
it. Like,
nobody is communicating to anybody healthy or helpful in this movie because almost everybody they talk to is either part of the cult or in their family. So not one
yeah,
person is like, hey, you have an unhealthy view of your son.
right.
Nick?
Yeah. So these are tied for me.
yeah, no, I guess it's real close because yeah, I mean like these are both just like perfect portraits of grief. But I think I gave it 10-9 with the edge to Hereditary in this one, just because the scene where like Anne's like breaking down, like just from the initial like outside scream to her like fucking primal yells like in the fucking bedroom that just cuts to her scream. Like it's an uninterrupted scream through like these three scenes. Like it goes from like the car to her bedroom to the funeral scene, and it's just like this like one long like she does not stop
Right.
screaming this entire
Right.
time, like feeling. Whereas like I feel like Fourth P was really good, but like I guess it's like part of like a issue with the character is like so much of it was her trying to repress it that we didn't see it. And like a lot of times we like, and then like the fucking scene would cut, we wouldn't get to actually see her process the emotion and stuff like that. Whereas like I feel Hereditary was just yet again just like fucking focused on it, and like Jess said, just fucking watch it.
Right. Right. Yeah, I gave the exact same score, 10-9, edge to Hereditary. All the exact same reasons you just said. I cannot say enough about how much she nails that scene of reacting to her dead child. And
Mhm.
yeah,
This is why like I try to show more people these movies, because like these are movies I consider like, no, see, horror can be art. Like this isn't fucking Michael Myers just going around stabbing teenagers for fucking like an hour and a half. This is like actual, like it's saying something relevant and emotional and fucking powerful.
right.
And it's
Yeah,
also
one of
scary.
the Easter eggs here is how badly they got snuffed for every award for this movie, which drives me insane because, god
Yeah,
damn,
yeah,
that's an
always with horror.
amazing. I've seen so many movies where people handle a child dying, and me and Jess will constantly be like, nah, I would be absolutely a puddle of fucking rage and grief. But that means Hereditary wins the Grief Olympics in round
Mhm.
3, taking us into round 4. Cult appeal. Fun one. Which cult would you rather be a part of? The Flower Crown Swedes or the demon worshipping Paimon clan? Paimon. I don't know.
Yeah,
Jess?
yeah.
This one was Midsummer 10-5, only because duh. What the fuck?
I want to run around the northeast fucking naked. It sounds fucking unpleasant.
Midsummer is so pretty and light and airy, and it's like those situations, but kind of in a sense of actually speak no evil. And in referencing that, I always mean the original. But it's kind of those situations that are happening that are like, wow, I'm not really comfortable with this, but I'm also like not in a position to say that or like object. This isn't my place. Yeah. The Harga cult, whatever, is much more appealing to a regular person than King Payman's demons and putting people inside of other people. I'd pass on that.
Now, to be fair, we don't see how well it works out for the demon clan afterwards. Like, they could be like fucking rolling in
True.
money and prosperity afterwards, and like shit could be awesome. Because the problem I have with the Harga clan is everything seems awesome until you fucking get like the wrong ping pong ball fucking pulled out, and you're, you're dead at 32. Sorry. Like, I'm just gonna be thinking about that the entire fucking time. Where it's just like, yeah, I could live to 72, or I might be the unluckiest motherfucker in this whole village. Or there was like 2 that volunteered, and like, I'm like, so it's just like one of those things. Like, you're not necessarily safe in the Harga clan. Like, they do some self harvesting where the Paimon worshippers, at least, like, they seem to be good to their own. But those seemed like some fun parties in the photos. Like, they seemed like they were having a good time. They're like, hey, drinks. So I think yeah, I might go 8 on the Paimon clan and like a 5 on the Midsommar. Even though I feel I'd enjoy that life more, just be that sort of ping pong ball hanging over my head the entire time.
Right. Yeah, I went the same direction here. I went 10-6 Hereditary for all the reasons Nick just said. Plus, I don't want pube pie, period T, or fucking my cousins. I don't want to do any of that. For the most part, until they're doing shit, all the people in the Paimon clan are just normal ass people, like doing normal ass shit with the promise of someday you're gonna do some really awful, horrific cult shit, and then you're gonna be rich afterwards. So, for the most part, it's just normal life if you're in the Paimon clan. But yeah, Midsommar, I don't want to fuck my cousins and eat a bunch of gross shit and have to play bingo to see if I'm going to die with these outsiders.
So, oh man, I got to die with a vaping American this year? Fuck.
Right. So round 4 goes to Hereditary, taking us into round 5, which has got to be a tough one. Best lead performance. Sorry, there's my bell. Round 5, best lead performance. Florence Pugh versus Toni Collette. Which emotional breakdown reigns supreme? Jess?
I'm sure my response to this is expected, but I went 10-7 to Toni Collette. She is just my favorite. I think she's like my favorite actress that we have actively making movies right now. Like I said, the table scene, post-mortem Charlie death scene. I actually love the dream sequence when she sets Peter on fire and they're all wet and she's just like in complete shock. The attic, when she's banging her head against the attic, that's probably like the scariest scene in this movie for me because I don't like body horror is my line. Like bodies doing weird shit that they're not supposed to do. Her head was moving way too fast. That's not normal. But yeah, I'm also obsessed with Florence Pugh. I think she's the cutest little actress ever. And she did such a good job in being human. But Toni Collette, as far as like horror lead actress, Toni Collette won the edge for me.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with Jess here. Like, I think it's just more of like they're both amazing actresses, but Toni Collette just has more experience under her belt. Like Florence Pugh, I think will reach that point eventually, if not surpass it. But like where we are at this point, she's not there yet, but definitely fucking on the way there. But yeah, just like Florence Pugh, she was like really, really good in it, and like I believed her pain, I believed her anxiety, but like so much of it like was just cut away narratively. Like just like she's about to have a panic attack, and we cut away. She's about to like freak out, and we cut away, and it's just like we didn't get to see the whole thing. And also, I just feel like Toni Collette had just such a bigger range in Hereditary. Like she goes from like sorrow to rage to manic elation to catatonic point. It's just like she hits every fucking emotion like and like throughout the entire course of the movie. Whereas I feel like Florence Pugh is just a little more focused and like just narratively gets limited a little bit just by how the movie's edited.
Yeah, it's going to be unanimous for Hereditary here, but all the reasons you guys said. Have you ever seen About a Boy, Nick?
No, I'm not.
It was the first thing I ever saw Toni Collette in, and even back then, this was probably like 2004 when that movie came out, but it's a Hugh Grant movie, and she's like a suicidal mother in that movie, and even back then, her acting range is off the fucking charts, but All the reasons you guys said, I don't really have anything to add. I just think every time Toni Collette's the focal point of a scene, she fucking eats it, dude. And it might be partially because of how Florence Pugh's character is written that she seems so small in certain scenes, but yeah, I don't know. Toni Collette just owns every scene she's in, and
yeah, no, like I said, I feel part of it just too was just like direction and like editing and stuff like that. I feel
Sure.
like they both like put in amazing performances.
and like the
You
good
know, she
old
wasn't
growl
even gonna
thing,
take this movie.
huh?
Really?
She wasn't even gonna take this movie. Ari Aster wrote her a personal letter begging her to take this role, telling her that it was going to like surpass all expectations of the horror genre, and so she finally took it. And could you even fucking imagine anyone else doing this?
Oh
There's
god.
no way.
I'm curious to know who was next in line if she was a firm no, but
I don't think he had a backup plan.
Yeah.
If Toni Collette didn't say yes, it was a trash move.
But even like the growling she does when she starts getting possessed for the first time, I'm just like, that's not something a lot of people can do.
Yeah.
So convincingly like that. But yeah, round 5 unanimously going to Toni Collette in Hereditary. Taking us into round 6, sound and score. The haunting chants of Midsommar, the unsettling sound design in Hereditary, and the general music score of each movie. Jess?
I went 9-6 with Hereditary for a strange reason. Hereditary, I don't remember any sounds from that movie because I was so focused on what was in front of my face. And I think for Ari Aster, sometimes a quieter score leaves more room for dread. And a lot of times with scary movies, the score of the movie kind of dictates how you're supposed to be feeling in a moment. And when it's more absent, I feel like for me, that makes it scarier because I don't know what's coming next, especially with Ari Aster. You don't know what the next thing in front of you is going to be. But the chance of Midsommar, not even, I don't know, I didn't answer this question accurately. I feel like not the chance like musically of Midsommar, but like the synchronized crying and expression of their emotions felt more like the soundtrack of the movie to me. And that was terrifying, but also kind of comforting, which I feel like was the goal.
Yeah.
But I still gave the edge to Hereditary.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar thought, like because like if I like thinking back on it, I think a lot of the music and like the soundtrack of Midsummer is like again, it's diegetic is the word I think I'm looking for. It's like it comes from within the scene. Like if you hear an instrument, there's someone playing an instrument. You hear
Yeah.
a song, there's someone singing, kind of a thing. Whereas yeah, like Hereditary, like God help me if I could tell you an exact sound combination of anything that happened in the background, but like I remember noticing a few times like making my skin crawl in like this really visceral way. Just like it was the auditory like equivalent of like bugs being under my skin, and like that was like fucking really effective. Like I mean, it was horrible to listen to, but it was effective for what it was trying to do. Whereas yeah, I feel like yeah, like just said, Midsummer is like weirdly comforting at parts, which can like amplify the horror kind of like a sour, sweet way.
Right.
But like I feel like yeah, as a whole, like Hereditary like gets under your skin auditorially without you even realizing it, which I think is like a big thing. So I gave it like an 8 versus a 6 to Midsummer.
Well, Hereditary is going to win, but because I went to tie, they both do that thing you keep referring to where they're making pleasant music. They both end on like this, almost like Ren Fair type joyous music, like a medieval vibe to it, while the most horrific
some
shit
mandolins.
ever is happening. Like, and then yeah, I'll just say it now, one of the Easter eggs for Hereditary is that they did a reverse breathing sound trick to add to the horror. She layered reverse audio of Toni Collette's own breathing over the attic scene. So just little tricks like that are impressive to me. But yeah, both movies, yeah, I love when a movie nails a score and sound. I wouldn't necessarily say that they have a score, but
No. Yeah, what is it, like creepy ambient audio number 3 would
Right.
be like the track
Other
names or something like
than-
that. Yeah, it's
the exact same final song, happy Ren Fair music, awful, horrific, ungodly shit happening, and that's the end. And I like that. But I give a tie, but that means Hereditary is going to win round 6 for sound and score, taking us into another tough one, round 7, disturbing imagery. Which movie leaves you with more burned into your brain visuals, the burning bear suit or the headless horrors? Or, by the way, Jess, that whatever examples are in there aren't the only examples you're going off of. They're just examples.
It's not the examples that I went off
Okay,
of.
good.
They're included,
Yeah.
but not exclusive.
But Go ahead.
I tied them for this. I won't yap on because I've mentioned several of these things already. But like I said, Hereditary, the attic scene ruined my fucking life. That scared me forever. It still scares me. I don't care how many times I've seen that movie.
Mhm.
As soon as she climbs up, as soon as he closes the attic hatch, I'm like, nope. But the attic scene, the table scene is still scary, even though it's probably not meant to be. Obviously, Charlie being decapitated is horrific, and also like the emotional context behind it. And then for Midsommar, the bridge scene, I don't care. You said the first lady didn't bother you as much as the broken leg, but watching her like bounce her fucking face off the rock without her face also coming back with it fucked me up the first time I saw it. The bear scene, and also him just sitting there like, what? After the bear scene, they're tied. It's all the images being burned simultaneously.
Nick?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going 10-9 to Midsummer in this one. 'Cause like I said, the difference a mouse could starve on, but it's yeah, just like there's just something about Hereditary where it's like I guess with Hereditary, it's like the tone of the movie going in is some horrific shit is about to happen. Like it's just got this like ominous, oppressive atmosphere throughout the whole thing. Like walking into like the
Yeah.
Overlook Hotel the first time, it's just like I can feel it in the air. Something
Exactly.
fucking horrific is gonna
Yeah.
happen in this house. Whereas like Midsummer, it hits you with the fucking uppercut in the beginning, and like if you don't know anything about the movie, like that turn, like when it goes from like la 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 happy flower people to fucking like the most horrific gore you've ever seen,
Right.
is I feel just a slightly more effective like misdirect, because like Hereditary, it's like we have the bird scene and we have like like weird shit with grandma and like fucking everyone's freaking out and like there's just a stress and you're like, okay, something's gonna fucking snap, but like the air is flexing, but yeah, and in Midsummer, it's just like la 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 la. Grandma has no face. Oh shit! Yeah, and it is like the I guess the other thing that gets me is that like they're I guess both groups aren't necessarily acting with malice. Like they're not like I want you to die because I hate you. Like there's none of that. Like it's like you have to die because of X. Sorry, is like the vibe for like both of them. But like Midsummer just like makes it so okay. Like, oh, here's this happy, bright, out in the sun community all wrapped around this fucking horrific shit. Whereas like, yeah, I feel Hereditary is a little more standard where it's like evil cult and evil
Right.
house.
Yes.
Evil.
Yeah, the lack of
And yeah, just that
emotion
extra
amongst
little
the people in the commune in Midsummer is crazy. Except for like the most random shit they get absolutely livid about, like pissing on the dead tree. But for the most part, they're just like, yeah, we're caving in faces. This is a great fucking day. Here's some pube tea.
yeah. Yeah,
I
I just feel
give
like
this a
that
tie
whole
as
like
well.
wraparound.
So that's gonna make Midsummer the winner, but with Nick being the tiebreaker. But yeah, same. I went tie. They both have things that will live in my head forever. I mean, Hereditary, I saw back when it came out, and the attic scene has lived in my head since then. And yeah, I think Midsummer, the most disturbing part to me was the stuffed corpses. Like, not even the suicide scene necessarily. It was shocking and gory, but once they start doing stuff with bodies, that just like goes straight to my stomach when they're like, scarecrow of your buddy. Like, I don't know. And then when they make them look like toys, that just sent it over the fucking top.
Yeah.
Like, and they're propping them up. All
And like I said, it's
happy.
like it's that callousness and joy that it's done with, and I feel it's just that extra little over the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I went tie. Nick chose Midsummer, so thank God we had a tiebreaker here. But that gives it to Midsummer, taking us into round 8, symbolism and subtext. Which film layers its meaning deeper? The grief, codependency, inherited evil, and toxic love. Jess?
Okay. This one I also tied. It's my last tie, I promise. But Hereditary, it's kind of like this is the merging moment between the two of them where they're exactly alike but also exactly different, because in Hereditary it's the horror that you inherit, whereas Midsummer is the horror that you choose. So with Hereditary, the King Paimon and all of the ritualistic aspects of that is inevitable and it's devouring and you don't have a choice and this is just what it is and it's awful and Peter's not having a good time. Whereas with Midsummer, it's she wants so badly to be connected to something that anything is better than nothing. And it's also equally horrible. But when she gets crowned, she's smiling because it feels like, okay, well, I chose this. This is the devil that I know. So I feel good about it. And it kind of is confusing. Like I said earlier, do we mourn her or do we cheer for her? Like, she
Right.
seems like she's very satisfied with this ending, whereas Peter, it's very clear that he's a shell of a boy. So they're tied. That's the last one for me.
I gave this one to Midsommar just because like, I feel both of them are rich with symbolism and subtext, but Midsommar, if you were paying attention through symbolism and imagery, shows you the entire plot of the movie right in front of your face and you don't realize it. Whereas like, yeah, there's a lot of subtle stuff like the things in the miniatures and like hidden symbols and things in the background in Hereditary, which I feel like those are fun things for like people to find. But yeah, just like for literal symbolism and like imagery and subtext and shit, yeah, like I mean, it's like half of fucking Midsummer is made out of symbolism and subtext.
Yeah, no, I agree. I went 9 here. Midsummer winning. Basically what you said as well. I think grief is a we've seen a lot of grief as the subtext, and Midsummer has a lot of literal symbolism, like you said. I mean, Hereditary has it as well with all the dioramas and stuff, but I mean, the toxic love is not as much as a represented subtext you see in movies, especially horror movies, and the way they perfectly set up the hunger for connection and love and
Mm.
feeling what I feel instead of me conforming to what you feel. Jess is dead. Yeah,
I've
no,
been
I think
crowned the Maid Queen.
it was a much more complex subtext to me for Midsummer. Showing a toxic relationship is one thing, but the degree they show it to showing the consequence of being in such a toxic, and it's not just her boyfriend, it's her reliance on her sister and how everybody treats her feelings about her sister, and yeah, she seems used to her family never answering her, and I just feel like they set up the dominoes and knocked them down so well in that movie, where Hereditary, for as amazing as it is, most of the concepts and symbolism and everything is something we see a lot. So yeah, I gave this by a tight margin to Midsummer. So round 8 is going to Midsummer. Taking us into round 9. Final scene showdown. Which ending sticks the landing harder? Midsummer's cathartic smile or Hereditary's chilling coronation? I could have literally put coronation versus coronation, but
Yeah.
yes.
I went 10 to Hereditary only because for it being a horror movie, Hereditary was more scary, whereas Midsummer was more confusing. The last 20 minutes of Hereditary is just nightmare fuel. It's the attic
Yeah.
scene, it's him, seeing the beheaded body, her slicing her neck, like it's just what the fuck over and over for 20 minutes. Whereas with Midsummer, it's kind like I said before, like kind of comforting, like, oh, it's all coming together. And yes, we see like stuffed scarecrow bodies of our friends, but it's also painted in such a way that's like, should I be upset right now? Is it weird that this is upsetting? This feels happy. So I gave Hereditary the win for that one.
See, I kind of have the opposite opinion, but for the same reasons, which is kind of interesting because
Well, these movies are perfect for
like
that.
yeah, because at the end of Hereditary, I know exactly how I feel. Like fucking evil's won, innocents have died, fucking like the plan has come to fruition, like nothing they could have done could have stopped this. And it's just like this like kind of like dense final nail in a coffin kind of feeling. Whereas like Hereditary, I don't know what the fuck I feel at the end of Hereditary. And that's like I'm pretty like have a pretty high level of emotional intelligence, and the fact that I can't discern my own feelings, like am I happy, am I sad, like am I like mad, or like is like this is a victorious thing, is this fucking evil, like I feel like a horror movie that leaves me questioning my own morality at the end of it like really has like a big message to say and like can swing and hit hard. So yeah, I gave a 10 to a Midsummer in this and an 8 to Hereditary because I know how I feel at the end of Hereditary, and holy shit, the feelings. But it's just like I know how I feel very definitely.
This is going to be problematic. I may have to come back to this at the end of this, but I went tie here, meaning this round is going to be a tie overall, meaning that there's a chance that this ends in a tie overall. So we'll see. But yeah, no, both they're both strong for very different reasons, and it was really hard for me to choose here. Like you said, the ending of Hereditary is pure nightmare fuel in the way it goes into like a resolution. I feel like movies do this a lot where it's a bad ending and it like leaves you feeling horrified, like, oh no, they lost, everything's over. This one's different. It ends in like everything's bad, but like, what even is this? Like, what happens now? Like, everyone's so gleeful, and it's like, most horror movies will do something like that and really hammer home, like, everything sucks and it's all over. End of the movie. This one's different, but Midsommar, yeah, it's like you said, makes you question your own morality. Like, you're almost happy for her because you're like, fuck that dude. She found a family, but also this is the most horrific fucking thing ever. And I have a lot of questions
Yeah, like
about
at
this
what cost?
commune. How often do they do this? um, but yeah, that means round 9's going to end in a tie here. But that takes us into our final round. Round 10, the Aster Legacy, a reworded version of the final verdict. But which film better defines Ari Aster's voice and will stand taller over time? Jess?
I went 10 to Hereditary. Midsommar probably could have been lower, but I just love it. But it's Midsommar is like its own weird Ari Aster baby. There's no other movie that he's made, or short for that matter, that's like Midsommar, whereas a lot of his shorts are very much hereditary coded, the familial trauma or whatever. A lot of his other movies look more like Midsommar. He doesn't really have another dark horror movie, but Hereditary, I feel like, was such a statement movie for him. And it was actually when he made his short, Something Strange About the Johnsons, that is the short that caught A24's attention, and they let him make Hereditary after that. So I feel like it's more chained to who he really is in most of his cinema makings. And yeah, I just like it. Between the two overall, Hereditary is my baby.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think Midsommar is my preference of these movies between these two, but that's not the question. It's just because I have never seen anything like Midsommar before, and I don't think I'm going to see anything like it again. But for legacy, like what's going to stick around, like, people aren't going to see Midsommar unless like some asshole like me comes and forces their friends to fucking watch it, or like you're just into like weird kind of esoteric horror movies, which is not a large part of the population. But like if you're looking for a good gloom and doom and dark and bloody and scary and traumatizing movie, like Hereditary fills all those fucking notches. And like if like people are gonna see these two like movies on a fucking shelf, and it's like, which one of these would be the better Halloween movie? Like they're gonna fucking grab Hereditary every single time.
Yeah, I also
Like Florence Pugh is crying with flowers. Like what is that about?
I also went Hereditary. All the reasons you just pretty much what Nick just said. I would have never seen. What the fuck just happened? Did I do this? The camera was like, "What is it, Devin?
Look at
Shit
it
to say. Get right in his mouth." Yeah, I would have never seen Midsommar if you guys hadn't pushed for it. I feel like everyone has seen Hereditary. Hereditary hits a rare sweet spot where there's like a line you cross into Midsommar territory, or Speak No Evil, movies like that, where it's like, this is the threshold you get into where you're like starting to be a true like horror fan, what true horror fans call true horror fans because they're pretentious and assholes sometimes.
Don't be a dick.
They are. You'll see that.
We're not pretentious assholes because we're right.
I didn't say you're wrong,
That's
but
right.
this right here is a perfect example what you two are doing right now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But Hereditary is like just in the sweet spot of like classic horror movie, and that like it's like I always compare like good horror movies to like spicy food. Like I love spicy food and it will hurt me, but I just love the pain. But it's right there. It's right on the borderline. I feel
the
like
introductory.
that inched the goalpost for most of America of what is an acceptable mass consumption horror movie. Hereditary, I feel like, did that. Saw was like kind of in that territory, pushing the goalposts, and then Hereditary took it even further. Midsommar's just over the line to where I don't think it's ever going to be like that mass level.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell, just follow the money. I mean, Hereditary has literally doubled the box office, and they're only a year apart. And Midsommar came afterwards. So, just a purely logistical standpoint, I feel like Hereditary is going to stand taller, and just so many people have seen Hereditary and consider themselves true horror fans because they like Hereditary, you know what I mean? Which people like you are like,
Yeah.
no, you're not. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like, welcome to the club. Like, we have snacks and much deeper hallways than like what you've just
That
wanted.
was
So
the foyer.
I will say you guys Jess was always making me watch stuff like this, but it is opening me up more to wanting to see movies like Midsommar, just honestly because sometimes they just make me laugh. I don't know if that's
I
the
You know,
red
understand
what
what you
flag
mean.
or not, but
What Nick said earlier was exactly how I feel and why I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, and not speaking for you, but why I feel like horror buffs we feel a little bit entitled to our opinions, because a lot of times people think scary movies and they think of Michael Myers or Friday the 13th, which are great in their own regard, but horror, like true horror genre, really does cross a line in the sand where it becomes artistic. Like the original Speak No Evil, I will forever die on the hill that movie is fucking gold, because
Yeah.
it's horrific and it's terrifying and nobody wants to look at that. But the emotional context within movies like this is such a well that you can like never get to the bottom of.
yeah, it's a
So
tightrope act
Rosemary's
making a
Baby and
movie
shit like
like
everybody's
that.
that.
Like, yeah.
entitled to their wrong opinions, but Nick and I are correct in this instance. So
Well,
Yes.
maybe if you guys
Well, it's
stop
like
acting like wine
it's
connoisseurs, people will be more open to it. But I agree, it is a
it's
tightrope act to make a movie like
yeah.
Speak of No Evil that is actually good without turning it into like a snuff film like Hostel, you know?
it can very
Yeah.
quickly become like trauma porn,
Right.
but it's a
Yeah.
When you
balance,
can
and that's
do
why
it
it's art.
well, I think it's a feat. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one movie series I've had no desire to see whatsoever. It's a horror that everyone's like, you haven't seen it. It's like fucking the Terrifier series, just because what I've heard
Yeah.
is just fucking gore porn.
Well, see,
It's
It's like, no,
it's weird
horror
for me,
comedy.
who I
It's
don't call
yeah.
so
myself
dumb.
this connoisseur of horror movies, but it's movies like Terrifier and Michael Myers and stuff that I don't really, well, historically haven't leaned towards horror movies because I think they're stupid and corny. And then when I
Yeah.
see the movies Jess shows me, like I said, it's starting to open me up more to wanting to see movies like that. But
that's why we get a little snooty about it, because everyone's like, oh, this corny, fucking cheesy, fucking
Yeah.
horror movie. It's like, no,
We're
there's
always
art
on
in
the
there.
defense because people are like, that's dumb. That's just gore. And I'm like, Nick, have you ever seen Through My Mother's Eyes? It's a black and
No, I
white
haven't seen that one.
film. Oh my God. It's a horror film. It should be hung up in a museum. It is art. And people never hear of those fucking movies because they don't play them in theater. So they're like, oh, I'm going to
Yep.
see a scary movie. And it's the
Yeah, and they
concept.
never
I
get
understand
awards or anything.
being defensive about people saying horror movies are corny and stupid, but what I'm saying is the people that are like, I like horror movies because I like this, and then people like you are like, that's not real horror. Maybe if you guys would just be like, that's good, you should also watch this, and then watch this, and start like
It's the
easing them
only
towards it
gate I have to keep.
instead
Let
of
me
being
be.
like, you fucking suck. It's like the way
I'm
me
never
and Keeson
externally rude
probably
about
were
it,
as
but
teenagers
internally, I'm certainly judging.
about punk
I'm
music.
like,
Yes.
It's probably very similar,
okay.
and that's what you guys remind me of, is how we
I
were the
do the same thing
gatekeepers
with
of
horror
real
books.
punk.
I do the same thing with horror books because people are like, oh, I love to read horror. And I'll be like, what did you read? Or what's your favorite horror book? And they'll be like, Pen Pal. And I'm like,
Well, I'm
okay,
saying take me
this is the
as
end of our
your
conversation.
testimonial, though you have eased me towards wanting to watch real horror movies because I don't like the classic horror movies because I think they're lame. So final score here is 6-3 with Hereditary winning. Honestly, between the two of you, I really thought Midsommar was going to come out on top here, but
I voted mostly Midsommar, but yeah, it's just I think the Hereditary
the tie.
hype train was strong in this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I encourage anybody who hasn't seen Midsommar to go check it out if you like Hereditary. It's the exact same vibe, exact same directional style and everything. It's really good. But, you know, Hereditary just was it his first movie? Like first full-blown movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he nailed
Yeah,
it right
first
out of the
feature length,
fucking
yeah.
gates and made an iconic fucking movie, and it's going to stick around a long time. I mean, we're talking about 7 years later, and it's a great fucking movie. I can't think of a movie by somebody else that has come out that nails that threshold the way Hereditary does, like just right on the fucking
Yeah.
line. Well, like I said, Hereditary is the winner. We're going to leave you with
Yes.
some Easter eggs and trivia very quickly and then talk about next week. Nick, if you want to do Midsommar, and then I believe Jess wants to do Hereditary this week.
Wait, will you
Yeah.
pause really quickly? Can you run me up that other sheet of paper? Because I don't have it with me.
Okay. We don't need to pause because
Thanks.
Nick's going to be the one talking. But
Yeah, I'll just go, yeah. So let's be like, everybody
Okay.
focus on me. Movie magic. All right. So, Midsommar. Easter eggs. Runic language everywhere. Every major prop and costume Midsommar is inscribed with real Norse runes. They spell out clues about each character's fate. Which, yeah, just like if you pay attention, you know the end to this movie before, like 30 minutes before you get there. Florence Pugh's method breakdown. Aster told Florence Pugh to find the sound of panic. Instead of screaming, walking in circle scene was shot in one take. Every death is foreshadowed. The opening mural visually lays out the entire film's plot, like I said. Every major death and ritual is hidden in plain sight from the very first frame. It was filmed in Hungary, not Sweden. The movie wasn't shot in Sweden because the landscape was too green, and Aster had the commune built from scratch in Hungary. And yeah, those are all the ones for Midsommar. So, Hereditary. Go for it, Jess.
I actually kind of peppered in the ones that I knew off of
Oh,
my
yeah,
own.
no, yeah, bring whatever information you get to the table.
Hereditary was a family drama before horror. So Ari Aster originally wrote Hereditary as a straight family tragedy about grief and inherited trauma. And that was part of the reason that Toni Collette didn't want to do it, because she told her agent that she wanted to move away from like heavy roles,
Yeah, probably like
which is
About a Boy.
hilarious. And
You should really watch
yeah,
About a
and
Boy
that she
someday.
was a lot of people don't know this because she was so much younger, but she was the mom in Sixth Sense. She was the little boy's mom.
Holy
so that's
shit!
fucking
No,
weird.
I can't say I had something else in mind for what the mom looked like. I mean, it doesn't really stick out as a
I
key
always
character to me, I guess.
confuse the mom in Sixth Sense to the mom in what the fuck is that movie called? Where she's a stripper. Pay It Forward.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
I think
wow,
it's the
look at
same
her.
little boy. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Toni
But
Collette
yeah,
can
she had like
fucking
red
get
hair
it
in
when she
Sixth.
tries.
I fucking love her.
She's
I
hot
love
as
her.
shit. I just pulled up pictures and Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Looks
She's
like
a redhead in that
kind of
movie.
like Velma.
Yes. And the next one is the reverse breathing sound trick. You mentioned that, Devin. In the attic scene, they layered real audio of her breathing and put it in reverse to make it extra traumatizing. The miniature foreshadowing, Annie's miniature art pieces recreate every major detail in the film, very similar to the tapestries in
I
Midsommar.
love that he does that. I haven't seen Beau is Afraid, but I'm curious to see if they do the same thing.
That's the
No,
one
like I
with
said
Joaquin
earlier.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Ari Aster, Nick, have you seen Eddington with Pedro
No.
Pascal? He just made that movie. That's his most recent movie. My friend Brittany and I went to go see it in theaters, and it's so weird. It's like 8 different movies in one, but there's a lot of foreshadowing in that movie as well. That's kind of like his whole.
Yeah, and I always respect when directors do that and like, respect the audience enough to like, yeah, no, you can probably figure this out if you're paying attention.
Yeah. They also, some weird thing that he's kind of beholden to is like the way that Midsommar looks when it opens, kind of like an old, the old Disney fairy tale movies where it's the cover of the book and then the book opens and they read like the first page. That kind of aesthetic. He, in one of his shorts, the Munchausen one about the fucked up mom and son, the title screen of Munchausen is in the same aesthetic look as those things, as well as Joni's rug in Hereditary is the same look as all of the tapestries in Hereditary. And then the last one on here is the real Payman. King Payman is taken directly from the 17th century Gotia. I don't know how to say that. I'm not going to try again. Described almost exactly as in the movie. And also what I said earlier from the Lesser Key of Solomon. That's like a real demon entity that's got a whole fucking bunch of lore behind it.
Yeah, no, it's like Solomon, Paimon, Baal, Bahamut. Yeah, like all those fun guys. All the names from Diablo 2.
Beelzebub, the cat TikToks.
All the names from Diablo 2.
Fisto,
Is one Pazuzu?
I think.
No, Pazuzu was just a lesser demon. That's from The Exorcist.
Okay.
It's not one of the kings of hell. He's just a...
Well, I remember
he's like a jobber,
that
more so.
gross ass like ICP style cult that was all about. Guy called himself Pazuzu, but yeah.
Well, no, Pazuzu's the name of the demon from The Exorcist.
Yeah.
You find that
another fun fact about Hereditary is after Ari Aster made Hereditary, A24 told him to chill the fuck out, and then he made Midsommar after that.
That's kind of weird they would say that. I feel like that movie kind of put A24 on the fucking map. So
yeah, it
would
really
make them
did.
almost $500 million. Like, chill the fuck out. What do you mean?
Yeah, none of their other movies have any fucking chill, so I don't know what the fuck their problem was.
Oh, it wasn't $500 million. It was still 80 million. Shut the fuck up and let him do his thing.
Yeah, they were like, maybe try to like reel it in, and he was like, you bet, daytime.
Yeah.
So the notes I'm getting are brighter and more colorful. I can do that.
Next week, we are wrapping up this month of Flick Frights with a totally polar opposite direction of what we just did. We're doing Tucker and Dale
Yeah,
versus
much
Evil
lighter.
versus Club Dread, 2 horror comedies. I haven't seen Tucker and Dale in a while, and I absolutely adore that movie. So very much looking forward. There was a sequel in the works at a certain point, I swear, that I was hearing a lot about. I don't know what happened to that, but god damn it, I love that movie. I love that actor, the chubbier guy. He had a run of movies right around that time and TV shows he was in. Absolutely hilarious, and we all love Alan Tudyk. So, and then yeah, Club Dread from Broken Lizard, the Super Trooper guys. Going to be a decent matchup and a nice way to end on a happy note for the month of Halloween.
Bit of a palate cleanser after the trauma of this week.
Big fucking time, yes. But yeah, that wraps up this episode. Then we'll be right back to our normal format with spinning the wheels and stuff.
I miss the wheels.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like the wheel. The wheel's not my friend, but we'll see.
We're going to get Drag Ball Evolution as soon as we go back to the wheel. I fucking know
I
it.
am down for it. I think our Battle of the Shit Movies is one of our best episodes to date, so...
Yeah, I know. People love fucking trash-talking shitty movies more than praising amazing ones like these, so we'll see.
Definitely. Well, they do love to get in the comments a lot more
though.
when I talk about good movies, it seems like. They love to let me know
Yeah.
I'm wrong, which I'm fine with. Please come tell me... Tell Jess and Nick they were wrong, because I don't have a dog in this fight. I gave a lot of ties out. They're both great movies. All you pretentious horror people, please get in the comments with Jess. She will eat you alive, and I will happily watch my friends battle you in the comments.
You will lose.
Yep, we're right.
Bring it.
Thank you to Jess for blessing our show with your presence. I am Devin
Thank you for
Vestal.
dealing with all of my technical difficulties.
Well, they won't see it by the time I edit this, but
Well,
they'll
they
just
were
be
all
like,
out.
why does she keep changing where she's at on the camera? Why does the camera keep changing?
Plot twist.
But with that, I am Devin Vestal.
I'm Nick Nye.
I'm Jess Vestal.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.